Welcome to the show, and what a complete load of shit we've got for you tonight.
I used to laugh at the idea of a woman prime minister.
John, you can ask me questions if you give me notice.
There's no time necessarily for manners.
Doesn't give my opponents much time to run.
I'm responsible for introducing the concept of MMP by accident.
You know, they hate the system.
I used to call the old culture the concrete playground.
Poets in this country have always been the smart ones.
I've been performing since I was born.
I can smell the uranium on it.
No mai hara mai te whānau ki Aotearoa I tēnei pō, ko Magenta tōku ingoa.
Oh, called Detective Rogers Tokuingua, and I didn't change my name this time, so I fucked up.
Oh no, it's alright, it's alright. I'm sure we can have one double up. It's not gonna be the end of the world.
Kia ora, guys. We probably don't have many people in here right now because we've started way earlier than usual, but look, we'll just see how things go. And
Baba's here and Kiwi Skirt's here. So.
Okay, we got two people.
We got some peeps.
Two's better than none.
So. Right.
Which is what I expected.
That's what she said.
Yeah, no, 6:30 is a bit early, but you know, it's just to give us a bit more leeway in doing all this shit, because I'm horrible with my time management and my management of everything, and rather than cutting things from the week's document, I just decide to keep adding, because
you did.
I
went out today and there was 17 pages, and I came back and it was 19 pages.
Yeah, I know. Well, I found more things, and I was like, well, I can't ignore this. And
There's always more things.
I'm just like, I can't ignore this. I can't ignore this one. You know?
I mean, hell, as it was before I left the house, I was looking at the TPM stuff we had, and then by the time I fucking got home, there was even more to add to it. I haven't fully done that, and I don't think I'm gonna, but
I'm wondering if we should rename this just The Horrors of a Week. Maybe that's what the show should be called. Just the horrible things that happen in one week.
Or, shit, here we go again.
Shit, here we go again. That's also, pretty appropriate. Speaking of the week, what did you get up to last week?
Last week? Oh my god, you're expecting me to remember what I did? Nah.
Yeah, I want you to expect... Yeah, you recap your whole week, please.
God. I didn't do bingo. No, wait.
You didn't do bingo?
Yeah. Didn't do bingo because it got cancelled.
That's blasphemy. Oh, okay. Not your fault.
Yeah, but do you know what sucks? They didn't fucking put anything out on social media. So, got ready, left the house, turned up, and there was just a sign saying private function. And the people, we have regulars at bingo. Mm-hmm. So there was already regulars seated at a table, and we were just kind of looking at each other like, what's going on? Why does it say private function? Why is there 3 random white girls sitting at a table, look like they're all dressed up for something? And yeah, so I was bummed out. I was bummed about not doing bingo, but we had our first session of in-person D&D, which was nice. I haven't done in-person D&D in fucking years, so that was fun. And then guested Halloween episode on Friday. And then honestly, I didn't do fuck all or much this weekend because I've just been doing so much recently that I think I just needed a break from having stuff on. So I just basically ate food, smoked weed, and played video games. That's about it.
I mean, that sounds like a good week.
I mean, it's a good way to end the week. Yeah, absolutely.
Here I am to ruin it for you.
How's your week? Well, what did you get up to last week?
That's a good question. I saw Guillermo del Toro's new Frankenstein, which I thought was fantastic.
I did see that was coming out.
Yeah, well, it's sort of towards the end of its release phase, so it was one of the I don't think one showing in the day or something. It's actually been out for a while. Yeah. But I hadn't heard much about it. But I went and saw it. Well, I guess because it's just another rendition of Frankenstein. But I thought it was more than that. This thing had a heart. It was my favorite arc. It's my favorite arc in every movie, which is they learn to care, which is always my favorite arc.
When is that going to happen for this government, you reckon?
I don't know.
When's the arc happening? Where's the redemption story? I need to hope that these villains can, I don't know, go to the Wizard of Oz or something and get a fucking heart. I don't know. I don't know how one does it.
Catching up on 1.25 speed, be live soon. Thanks for letting us know, Dave. We like your commitment. We've just been talking about our week so far, but I mean, hey.
Right? Also, how sweet to bother listening to our fucking garbage on 1.25.
Yeah, I do two, at least minimum 2.
Yeah, get through these fucking...
It's a bunch of crap so far.
Weirdos.
But the movie was great cinematography, great use of color. It looked fabulous. I mean, maybe it was a little long. That was maybe a slight criticism. He could have trimmed it down a bit, but...
How long was it?
It was probably a good couple-hour movie, you know, maybe 2.5, actually. It might have been that long. Like, it was definitely getting there. It didn't help that we were, like...
Oh, yeah,
in, like,
2:29.
Yeah, well, you notice it when you're in, like, the front rows and your neck's literally, like, cramming. I expected these days, like, with the price of the tickets and stuff, like, they wouldn't have just such atrocious seating, but they still do. They just got to squeeze every penny, I guess.
Yeah,
but
you think they're bothering to upgrade the fucking cinema seats?
Or even just lower the screen just slightly, or just lean the front seats backwards so we don't have to crank our neck up. There's lots of solutions to this.
Where were you sitting, though, in the, like,
because we got there and there was only, like, a couple of seats left at the front row, so we're pretty much right up the front.
Oh, okay. That's why.
Yeah.
Is you didn't get there early enough, because sitting in the front seat fucking sucks.
It does suck, but it's also it's a thing. It's a thing that exists. So, you know, you're paying money for it. You'd expect it to be at least it's not like it's cheaper. You'd feel like it should be equivocal to the other seats, at least in some respect. Or you save $1 or something, you know? But
I mean, I could see the logic of, like, a 25-cent discount.
But all they got to do is, like, make it so the seat's leaning back slightly, and that's it. That's like, then your neck's not hurting the entire time, you know? I don't know. It was bizarre to me. It was bizarre to me that it's still, like, an issue.
Yeah.
All I could think about the entire time was that there's, like, an entire subreddit called TV's Too High. Just criticizing.
I've never heard of that.
It's this whole, you know, a bunch of autistic people obsessing around the height of the TV, going, this TV's too high, you know.
A bunch of autistic people. You could just say that about Reddit.
Yeah, pretty much.
But now I also need to look up this Reddit, so you keep talking.
It's one of those ones that you can just keep looking at. A lot of it's just shit posts, but
there's a TV too low as well.
There's a TV too low as well.
Oh.
There's probably some kind of war where there's, like,
I'm sure. That's
like,
hilarious.
we hate the people from TV too high, TV too low.
TV too high, God,
as a
imagine.
tall person,
right?
TV's way too low.
But I do get what you mean. I guess I haven't been to, like, because what was this, like a reading cinema?
It was Rialto.
Okay, so
only 2 in the country.
So a slightly more expensive reading cinema.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's all bought, but it's still owned by the same company and stuff. But
yeah, I haven't been to one in ages because in Wellington here, where the reading cinemas built was, the building's been closed for, God, maybe like 8 years. So, like, just after I moved here, I believe it closed down, and it's been shut ever since. So I get to go to this kind of cute little intimate kind of cinema where they have, like, there's, like, the seats are done in 2s, and they're basically like kind of little couches. They're, like, soft, and there isn't too many seats in the cinema even in itself. So, like, and you also can't really be too close to the screen. Like, that's another good thing, is they're really played to the space.
I like the independent cinemas better too. Like, they never have that, like, same option, that same issue. I find with, like, the seating being atrocious. Like, you know. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Because I went there to see Across the Spider-Verse. I believe that was it, because it's the second one.
I don't know. They both sound the same. I get them.
I see. That's what I say every fucking time.
Horrible naming.
But I think it's because it's Into the Spider-Verse, which is the first one, and then you go Across the Spider-Verse, and I can't remember the name of the upcoming third one.
It's not as bad as Fast and Furious. Then you got
oh god,
Too Fast, Too Furious, then Tokyo Drift, then The Fast and the Furious. I don't know. I might still be getting those wrong. Or F8,
no,
yeah.
They've
Fast
gone
5.
They've gone for some very. I mean, there's so many fucking Fast and Furious movies. You know, they gotta find something to come up with.
Don't say die within the first 30 seconds.
I don't think that counts as much anymore.
I've also heard that some of those things they've changed now.
They've changed them recently.
They changed
now you can swear
YouTube
in the first 60
so
seconds.
quickly. Like, it's hard to keep up even. Like,
So did I say die?
You might have. Why are you you're always telling people to die. Why are you doing that?
Now I'm confused with the word, like what the context of me saying die was. I'm like, oh my god, did I? Am I talking about like hair dye? I don't know.
Maybe you shouldn't have said hair dye. Yeah,
I love that. We've only been live for like 12 minutes and I'm already forgetting what I
They're
fucking
all
said.
floppy and furious.
Oh my god. Floppy.
To
be fair, I like the Fast and the Furious movies. They're kind of like movie trashy food, you know, like it's like the
this is way better junk food. That's like, it's not good junk food.
But there's something a little, I mean, it's probably just because I grew up starting like from the beginning watching them. And I did quite like, you know, Tokyo Drift. That one was really good. And I think F8 was where I started to kind of go, you know what? I feel
one.
like,
okay.
No, it was the 8th movie by the time I started going, well, because I think that's when they launched themselves out of the back of a helicopter or like an airplane or something, and they like, the cars drove out of the fucking thing and like, and I went, okay, we're dropping cars from the sky. I think we need to slow down. But no, I believe after that, the 10th one came out not long ago, and I believe there's already another one in the works. We've got at least 11, I believe, coming. So.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah.
Maybe they should do like an Ocean's 11 parody, the 11th movie, where it's cars have got to do like a bank robbery without getting caught. They gotta sneak into a bank in cars.
Yeah,
or
that's
casino
basically
or whatever.
it. Yeah, because then they use some high-powered magnet.
Is that actually a plot?
No, okay, so there is a Fast and Furious movie where basically they like, part of it is they're doing some kind of heist, and like essentially they get this big magnet and they put it on the opposite side of a wall to where some big safe is. Because they couldn't crack the safe, they're just gonna yank the safe out of the building through the wall so that they can then get it somewhere else so that they can then get into it.
Welcome to life, Dave. You are now live.
Hey!
Just like he said in Frankenstein, bring it full circle, he said, it's alive.
It's alive.
I don't actually remember if he said, I don't think he actually said that in the movie, which is a shame. But it should have ended, there was a bit where he's like, you could make, he's going to Frankenstein's monster, and he's like, you need to make me a companion, and we can be monsters together. I was like, oh, I laughed a little bit. I was like, oh, and then just reminded me of Bride of Frankenstein, which is like the best ending to any movie ever, which they go through this whole rigmarole to make Frankenstein a bride. Then the bride comes alive, and the monster's there and sees his new wife, and she like spurns him, I guess, and he's like, she hates me, and then blows up the entire castle with him and his bride in it. And it's the movie.
What?
The monster just blows himself up.
He's like, fuck having a wife. I would literally
me.
rather blow myself up
instantly.
Man.
Oh wait, you mean there's a possibility I might spend my life with someone who fucking hates me? Nah. Not doing that.
That's taking the I hate my wife to like, oh, new level. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Anyway. And at the end of the day, even with that Nick issue, it was still a better viewing experience that I had with my other movie that I saw recently, which was I did One Battle After Another, which was the new Paul Thomas Anderson film, which was also very good. But I was like perfect seating for that one, but we were next to someone who stank and someone who moved a lot. And this guy, was literally like every time there was a loud gunshot, it was just jumped in his seat. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, just
wow, real jumpy there, jumpy.
Yeah, really took me out of it. Anyway, that's enough movie talk, I think.
Yeah, no, don't mind me. I'm just Googling the movie you were just referencing. So.
Oh, Bride of Frankenstein?
No, the
PTA
one. No, the one that you just
One Battle After Another.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
PTA, not to be confused with
PTA. I thought you said GTA, and I was like,
GTA,
what?
yeah, GTA, the GTA movie.
GTA
Why isn't that a movie? You think they would have made that a movie by now?
Yeah.
That just
I mean, they haven't even made GTA 6. Let's just get GTA 6 out before they go make it into movie.
True. Exactly. I still haven't played 5. Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
I don't play GTA. I play Saints Row. So.
I thought you were going to say I live it. I live GTA.
Fuck off. Nah, I was always a Saints Row person. I've never been a fan of old.
All right. I think we've gas-bagged enough. Let's move into the actual news. What everyone's waiting for this week. We've got enough people in here.
You needed to give me like 2 seconds to fucking... Wrong one.
Oh, that's the right one. That's the right one.
See? I was like just about there. I was just about there. So quick.
You tried. You did your best. Anyway. Back into announcer mode. So, what happened this week, guys? Last week. It's actually I wrote this week, but it's last week. So, last week, Winston Peters had more to complain about than usual. He gave a speech at Stockholm last Monday where he urged Nordic nations to increase their engagement in the Pacific region, citing growing strategic pressures. He said the Indo-Pacific is facing the most sustained pressure it has experienced in the past 8 decades, and urged that Nordic countries sharing similar values with New Zealand should support Pacific Island nations. Which, it's, somewhat fair, I suppose. We have a lot of aligning sort of political values. Interesting that he thinks they should... feel obligated to engage in the Pacific region more, but all the lessons we learn for these Nordic countries and how a lot of the social measures they use, we just sort of ignore. Like, no, that's bullshit. It's fucking socialism. That didn't work in the Nordic countries. You just wait.
Meanwhile, as I said, they're always the countries that have the highest rates of happiness too.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Anyway. On Wednesday, Luxon posted a photo of himself linking arms with Southeast Asian leaders, captioned, "I've just done a deal with the Southeast Asian nations that will help grow our economy at home." Later that night, Peters couldn't help but reshare Luxon's post and emphasized the word "we." And that's all he said was "we." Obviously, he was a little offended he's not getting credit there.
A little?
Yeah, well, you got to give Winston his credit when it's due. And when it's not, especially when it's not. Why aren't they talking about me? That's usually like one of the things he loves saying is, he'll be criticized something in the news and he'll be like, "Why aren't you talking about this other great thing I did?" I'm just like, well, that's not what we're asking you about today, mate. Just. We
can talk about that later, buddy.
Anyway, he soon deleted it off of his account. Then Peters' officers said they were unaware of the circumstances of the post. We don't know anything, guys. Just no one posted that.
Haven't been informed on that.
Yeah, I think you'll find that the coalition is dangerously strong, as Seymour put it.
How dangerous?
We don't invite. On Thursday, the Fonterra sale finalized. Farmers have voted overwhelmingly, 88% in favor, to sell Fonterra's consumer brands to French dairy giant Lactalis for $4.2 billion. The deal is predicted to add $4.5 billion to the New Zealand economy. I don't know why it was $4.5 billion versus the fruit, but I don't know where that extra $0.3 million is coming from, but that's the figures I got maybe they were just rounding up when they were saying that quote, like, this will bring 4.5 billion to the New Zealand economy, but that's, for some reason, that was different than the actual sale number. However, according to Lactalis, Fonterra's consumer brands and integrated business represents more than 3.6 billion of net sales. Now, they don't say how over how long, but I don't know.
5.6. I think you just said 3.
Oh, sorry, 5.6, yep. So, I don't know if that's supposed to be like a year's worth, or like they project that over the next 6 years or decade or whatever, but I feel like someone's getting the bad end of the stick here. You know, clearly Lactalis sees dollar signs, and that's why they bought it.
I mean,
otherwise,
exactly.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have. But all I see is people who are talking about this going, they didn't really earn that much money in the grand scheme of things anyway. In fact, this was a burden to Fonterra. That's all I sort of hear. But then it's like, why are these guys buying it? Why would they buy it? And as you can sort of see on the image I've shown, this is like all the brands that have been sold that are associated and where they're also selling. So we're in a lot of markets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this, I don't know, this is a lot of money. I feel. Yeah, anyway, with farmers received about 392,000 of tax-free revenue each on average. Fonterra's chair, Peter McBride, called it a strong mandate and said the co-op would now focus on high-value investments. I also decided to note it that, where did I say? Somewhere here. Oh, yeah, here. Apparently that's less than Peter McBride's earns in 1 year, the 392,000 tax-free each that farmers got.
It also just doesn't seem like a very high enough amount of money to get rid of something that would have continued to bring in more and more.
Consistent.
So seems very short-sighted.
Yeah, but they only see scale of efficiency, I think, which is, scaling down, narrowing down production to the key things that are making the most money, which is a lot of issue in capitalism a lot of the time anyway, where a lot of these companies will see, okay, this thing's making the most, and these things, they'll bring in some money, but we'd be better off focusing all our efforts into this area that makes the most profit per unit or whatever calculation they're doing, and just axe the other ones, even though there's still a demand there, and that can often create like a rift. I was thinking about this the other day with, like, I think it's Lime scooters or something. I was looking to it, and like, the companies that make those don't make commercial scooters because it's just they could probably make them quite effectively, but they just don't because it's just cheaper to just make it for the one sort of guaranteed person who's buying those scooters or whatever.
Interesting. I didn't know that about Lime.
Well, not Lime specifically. Sorry, I'm just using that as an example.
Right.
Lime might make their own. I don't know, but it wasn't Lime. It wasn't Lime. Maybe it was like Flamingo or that one. It might have been that one because I doubt they're making their own scooters from scratch.
No, to be fair, I don't believe any of the companies that probably were running at least here, because I know Beam isn't here anymore.
Yeah, but so whoever was making the Beam scooters definitely making the Flamingo scooters now. They're the same.
Yeah,
they're definitely the same.
Must be the case.
Yeah. Anyway, Peters slammed it as economic self-sabotage, warning that Lactalis could cut New Zealand milk supplies after 6 years, which is another sort of chink in the armor of this deal. It's only for 6 years that we need to sell. I think it's the powder. Do we sell the milk powder? No, the milk itself, I guess, would go. I don't actually know the economics of that specifically. I should probably, if I had more time, I would have looked into that. Anyway.
I feel like the boys were talking a bit about it, but I'll be honest, I can't remember what they said then either.
Funnily enough, I have a friend who's an actual dairy journalist, so I probably should have called him up for more information about it. Not doing my job right.
Get him next time.
It's like I don't get paid for this or something.
Right.
Analysts framed the decision as democracy in action, with most farmers seeing it as a pragmatic financial reset rather than a loss of national identity. Of course, I just noted it can be both. Why can't it be both?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a loss of national identity. Like these main brands that we've come to associate as, and a lot of people aren't even going to be aware of these sales. A lot of people won't be, and they'll just continue buying them. Not to say that's a bad thing, buying French stuff, but that's now what we're not accounting for is the consistent revenue that goes through these products back in the New Zealand economy as well. Which is another thing to consider, which is now just going to be, these are profits going offshore to a foreign company, which is another cog in the machine, I suppose. Has it all been fully accounted for? I don't fucking know. I didn't bother reading the proposal. Anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's another example just in general of where we, instead of actually processing things and doing things more in-house, it's just, let's ship off raw product and they can cream it. Sorry, I had to do that one.
Yeah, we are early, Kiwi Bird.
Yeah, no, you're good, Kiwi Bird. We decided to start a bit early today.
Welcome back, Kai Matata. Been a while since we've seen you in here. We do notice this. We get offended. We get offended when people don't show up.
Has showed up. We got Paul and MLB.
Alrighty. Yeah. So this one came out just before we went live, actually, a few hours ago. But court documents today have revealed that more than 60% of special votes cast in Kaipara's Knife Edge Council election were disallowed. In the preliminary results for last month's Kaipara mayoral election, Snow Tane was just 5 votes behind previous mayor Jonathan Larson, whilst third place Johnson Smith was only 26 votes behind. Behind Tane. This follows a report that almost half of Auckland's special votes were also discontinued. Such high amounts in multiple voting districts point to clear systemic issues in the voting process that ultimately a concern for local democracies. So it only gives a percentage figure there, but I think we're talking something like 600 votes, I think, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it might have been a bit less, but yeah, maybe I'm getting the 6 because of 60, but off the top of my head, it was a few hundred votes, so it could have made the difference, including some of these votes in this counting. The guy actually went to court over it, but it got dismissed because he didn't apply for the right thing. He applied for a recount or something, like that's what he was doing in the courts, and the judge was like, "Oh, you didn't appeal for the right thing. You appealed for a recount and not like a."
Right.
Like a reconsidering of the dismissed votes instead, so it just got chucked out in court essentially on that basis, which is it's a shame. Unlike the Auckland one, this definitely could have made a big difference. Probably just another reason why we shouldn't be letting sort of local private companies manage these things, I'd say. Well, because I've got a hand to play in this. There was about 288 votes, I think, was it? Were disallowed.
68, which is more than 22 times the winning margin. Which I think that's the more important part of that sentence. Like, that's clearly a huge amount. Because that's why I was kind of curious. I'm like,
so 288 were disallowed.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, sorry, that's the total amount. I see. That's the total.
Yeah, I thought it was closer to maybe 200 something. But yeah, there's definitely enough to make the difference. Like, we're talking about a race that was a difference of about 30 votes, for the person in third. So, yeah. And a lot of this goes onto the local organizers who probably just aren't clearly, I guess, marking out how we're supposed to sort of do this voting process, or at least not in a clear enough manner that people can submit their votes and actually have them accepted. Like, that would piss me off. I don't know if they let people know, like, their vote wasn't counted. I wonder if there's a way to find that out. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I wonder.
And I'm not sure if it's the same for, like, local elections, but I assume it is, like national elections where a lot of the voters are also more left-wing leaning. I'd assume it's probably similar.
Probably.
Yeah, that's just a guess. Anyway, it does smell sus as hell. You're absolutely correct.
Stinky.
What can we do? If there's something stinky, that's all we can do is say, this smells stinky.
Right? I don't like this.
Oh, fun, terrible.
Hey,
I like that one.
That's fucking good.
All right. So Luxon and Trump had their first in-person meeting last week. That was on the 29th of October in South Korea ahead of APEC leaders dinner. The meeting was informal. The two arrived together at the dinner, engaged briefly before a full delegation sat down, and chatted about golf and New Zealand courses. The topic clearly showing Luxon's continued focus on the cost of living in New Zealand. Luxon confirmed that the tariffs were raised in general, is what he said at the discussion, which, I don't know, that leads me to believe that they weren't raised at all. Just the way that he said that. They were raised in general. That's very fucky language, in my opinion. Like, what does that mean, they were raised in general? I don't know. He said the US administration is very, very clear on New Zealand's position. He did not specify if he personally pressed on the tariff issue with Trump, which I don't think... I think when he says he raised it in general, he probably mentioned it in passing and didn't actually try to go into any tariff discussion. He probably made a joke. Maybe you'll, come play some golf, you'll loosen up those tariffs, haha. Probably something like that.
It's probably more just like, thank you for not giving us much worse tariffs than insert place that had higher tariff than us. I doubt he wouldn't have been a fucking bootlicker, toe sucker.
I don't know. Trump praised New Zealand-US ties, the best country. He mentioned trade and rare earth cooperation, which is something he's been pretty obsessed with lately, is acquiring as many rare earth minerals as he can, and refrained from committing to any specific change in tariffs in that meeting. Speaking with News Talk's Mike Hosking this morning, Prime Minister said he thought it was possible Trump would accept his offer, and to quote him, he said, he knew a lot about the golf assets that are here in New Zealand. The golf courses. He's heard about them. They generally are in the top 10 to 15 in the world. If he's going to come down to Australia and New Zealand and a part of and this part of the world, then, he's certainly welcome here. Oh, sorry, we should certainly welcome him here. There you go. Our great leader telling us that we should invite Trump in with open arms. We ignore all the human rights abuses that you're making. Come on in, play our golf courses, please.
We got the FBI office. It's already too late.
I don't know, and we just got great golf courses, and that's apparently the only thing that's worth mentioning with this entire engagement.
I mean, that's all Donald Trump is actually interested in about any country. That's all he cares about. He's like, cool, yeah, trades and immigration. Sorry, but when do I hear about the golf courses?
Yeah. Well, this guy's spent more time golfing than any other president, I think, in American history, as far as I'm aware. I think he's actually had more days off than any president in American history as well. I remember someone doing the math on that, but I don't have those statistics on me. Anyway, let's go in to tax reform. It's tax reform time, guys. Yay! Starting with Simon Watts. So the government's pushed ahead with changes to foreign investment fund rules and fringe benefit tax. Simon Watts, Revenue Minister, announced the updated tax reform agenda on the 29th, saying it aims to make New Zealand more attractive for capital, talent, and small business investment. Small business investment? No, that's not. That never happened. No one's coming over here being like, let's invest in this small little dairy in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Let's invest in the in the pub and lug it, like. No one's doing that.
Fuck no.
You just get some Japanese investor out of nowhere just going, I want to invest in all this stuff in Timaru. It's like, no one's doing that. So key proposed changes include reforming the foreign investment fund rules, which tax overseas shareholdings with new calculation method to address cash flow problems and migrants and investors. So those who don't know, the foreign investment fund essentially does like a flat tax of 5% on foreign like overseas shares and stuff, which has been criticized being confusing and notoriously complex and punitive. And it taxes no matter what, like even if someone has losses and stuff. So there's definitely some issues there, I'm finding. So what, I'm not overly against them reforming that, because some examples that were given to me are like people's like pension funds and stuff, even those get taxed. So imagine if you went overseas and you had more than 50k in your KiwiSaver, and then suddenly you're getting taxed on that like 5%, which would be something like what's 5% of 15? No, 50, sorry. Oh, I don't know.
You can't even say numbers, and I don't do math.
1% is 500. So it'd be something...
What was your first number? Just give me the fucking...
So it would be 500 times 5. So it'd be like 2,500, I think.
Yes.
So you'd be paying like 2,500 if you had 50k in your KiwiSaver a year if you were just living overseas in another country, which, you know, that alone does seem a little bullshit, you know, like that. I don't see it as gaming the system, you know. I think these are people like investing in like their retirement fund and stuff, and you're taxing them on that. Like, I don't know, that seems not the fairest to me. I can understand people wanting to revise that. Anyway, they also did some consulting on changes to the fringe benefit tax, which involved moving strict definition for work-related vehicle, which was another sort of weird one. If people didn't know, there was like a criteria for work cars. The whole thing was to avoid like non-finance liquid incentives outside of people's payment to avoid tax. Like, say, I'll pay you 10k less a year or something, but I'll give you a car that's worth like, you know, 15, 20k or something.
Right.
And that would be, you know, sort of a quid pro quo type thing, and it sort of circumvents tax, so you're not getting taxed on that as well, so it has its own benefit there. So this whole thing was sort of to try and circumvent that. But it might have been a bit too stringent. So for something to be a work car, it had to firstly be not a car, which means like a ute, a van, or a light truck. Right. Which, well, you know, but there were already a lot of places that actually had business vehicles that wouldn't have been those.
Yes.
And people have criticized it for not incentivizing EVs and stuff, which has been an issue, because you're going to go for like a petrol or diesel ute, because that's something that's not subjected to that tax. You also got to have logos, and it's got to be primarily used for work. But I think the bigger thing was just the thing that it had to be like a car. I'm guessing, but look, I'm not necessarily against some of these changes, but you know, the way they're presenting it, which is these are targeted practical reforms, you know, there are always dubious claims from these guys. They're framing it in the whole like, we're making it more simple and easy to do, but I reckon ultimately it's going to be more of just the change's going to benefit higher wealthy individuals disproportionately than it will just your average person, which again just sort of shows where their priority is. Like, as much as it is a concern and issue for immigrants coming in, this isn't something I would be putting a lot of my focus in, at least not up front. It's not going to help your average person living in this country, you know? It's really not.
And that seems to be what they tend to focus on, is who asked for this?
Yeah, and well, in fact, it's going to hurt us more, because we will be getting less in tax revenue.
Yeah.
That too. So, you know, this is not a government that can afford to lose revenue.
I guess the question is, where are they going to take this from?
Yeah.
Like, who are they stealing from this time?
I didn't even think about when we get to the next budget, where is this money coming from? You're right.
Is this why the 18 and 19-year-olds have to stay on old mum and dad instead of wins?
That's true.
Who fucking knows with these cunts?
Anyway, let's get into a better tax policy. Moving on from that. So Labour announced their CGT last week.
Yes,
or
they did.
CGT Light, as some people put it. So finally, Labour has formally committed to campaigning on narrow CGT, covering profits from property sales, excluding the family home and farms. So that's like their way to sort of soften this, which a lot of people have taken issue with. I'm sort of mixed on it, but ultimately I'm sort of okay with it, and I guess we'll get into that soon. Tax rate would be 28% on profits made, and the policy would come into effect from 1st of July 2027 with no retrospective application. Labour has prepared the CGT announcement with the Medicard Healthcare Initiative. The new tax revenue is earmarked to fund 3 GP visits a year for every New Zealander, which I'm a little worried about that. The specifics of it being maybe a bit too admin heavy, but I mean, look, a win's a win. It's a targeted tax towards.
It's a start.
Yeah, it's a start. It's a start. 3 GP visits a year, it's good and make a lot of difference to a lot of people. I'm wondering if they're going to do anything to address people who have disproportionate needs. Like, for me personally, 3 GP visits a year, that's probably too much, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I did actually see, I think, I saw a comment from someone basically being like, can I get rollover with that? So is it like, you know, if I only use one of them, I can bank up the 2 for next year? Like,
Yeah. And a lot of the places like that is probably more important to me, like sexual health and stuff like that, they're all free. Like, I just go to them for free. It doesn't cost me a dime. So, you know, those are the places where I'm going more than like GP. I'm going to more specialized things for certain issues or concerns that I need to sort of be more observant of. If you're young like me, make sure you go to sexual health, people. It's free. Oh, I'm just saying.
Hey, I mean, I totally agree with you. I mean, to be fair, I got to go back to
something people don't want to talk about.
I got to go get my rods reinserted next year.
That's not the rods.
Fun. I know, but hey, like, I can't trust myself to remember to take pills, and I am not having no babies.
That's true. I mean, don't get me started on inserting rods.
Fucking hell.
The policy was announced abruptly and after a weekend leak and approved by the caucus in a near unanimous vote, but this follows months of internal debate on whether to pursue a broader wealth tax instead. Nicola Willis strongly criticised the policy, calling it a terrible idea and arguing it would place... I know... What a comeback. It's a terrible idea. Yeah. Name one good idea you've had. And arguing it would be place a tax burden on businesses and property investment. Hipkins, as leader of the Labour Party, challenged Luxon over his real estate portfolio. He claimed that Luxon sold 4 houses last year and made more money tax-free from doing that than he made Prime Minister's salary, and said he was happy to debate Luxon's personal finances. And I thought that was... that just stuck out to me because I remember, I don't think it was last week, I think it was the week before, I was looking at the how the ministers, the cabinet ministers, hadn't actually had a technical increase in their salary, and I was like, yeah, but they're probably making money elsewhere, so it's probably it's a win-win for them. They're probably ultimately making more, and then also getting an optics win by technically making less from their cabinet income. So yeah, that pretty much seems to be the case. He made more money last year than his entire Prime Minister's salary, so yeah.
I imagine, although he'll probably just be like, no, those are my wife's houses. So actually...
Well, he completely denied flipping properties, just as a concept.
No
apparently.
one said you flip properties, sir. Wow, some people probably did.
But that is what he did. Even if he's denying it, he did flip them. Whether or not he did that and like quickly, I don't know. Like, you might have to get into the nitty gritty of what flipping a property is, but I would argue he flipped them. These weren't places he lived in. You know, he only held them for a couple of years, I think. he also said Hipkins' $600,000 house flipping attack on me is diversion from Labour's failures. So they're still going on the attack of Labour from last administration. I don't think they need to divert from their own failures, considering you've got just an insurmountable just list of fucking failures from your 2 years in office, pretty much. So. Yeah. But, going into some of the criticisms, some financial journalists characterized Labour's CGT announcement as politically defensive and economically timid, specifically this guy, Bernard Hickey. Bernard Hickey. I mean, surely Ben is short for Bernard, right? You can maybe argue that.
No.
Come on, give me that win.
No.
Because it excludes family home and farms, it applies to profits from investment properties. The tax would raise minimal revenue compared to broad-based CGT or wealth tax. This version will barely raise enough to fund even a fraction of the healthcare promises attached to it. Now, it would be nice to see proper modelling here, but I don't believe, for better public scrutiny, but yeah, without that, it's hard to be sure. It'd be nice to see Labour's modelling on all this, but I don't believe they've released it, or they have any plans to, I think, until next year, I believe. So we just won't know. Hickey argues doesn't tackle asset inequality since most property wealth sits in the family home, and wealthy investors can shift assets or delay sales. The richest 10% will still avoid paying anything on the bulk of their wealth, he says. Without indexing or inflation or closing loopholes, it could incentivize gaming and a deferral of sales, limiting actual collections. I think this is partly why I would be happy if this came in combo with a wealth tax. I would be more happy, even if it was like a wealth tax light as well. Like, I think those two in combination would be better, I think, ultimately, than just this sort of light CGT model. Because I also have concerns that this might not be able to raise as much as they need, and I really want them to get this right, like, off the bat, because I don't want it to be like become another political football that can be used as ammunition against them. I'd like them to get it right. So I think that's sort of where I'm coming from when I'm being critical of this. I've seen people saying don't let perfect be the enemy of good, but my counter is not to let good enough be the death of improvement. So
that is also a fair argument. I think both go.
Yeah, and why can't I both support this policy, say, hey, this is good policy, you guys should, if you want to vote for Labour for it, because this is good policy and we need it, and it's a big step up, but I can also criticize it, I think, at the same time, which I guess is just another angle of this, but I do see this strategy. So historically, they've had a couple of CGT proposals in the past, 2011, 2014, which didn't go well for them. And clearly, the majority of the country do not want a full CGT, from what polling's shown. There's actually a research poll down here if you want to pull that up.
Oh, yep. I can
we can go in the details there. So that could hurt them going into the next election if they did just go full CGT, if you're looking at the numbers here. But the strategy of like a targeted capital gains with direct benefits, I think is the most important thing. Like, there's a direct benefit that's going to be associated with this tax. And once people start feeling like, or seeing the improvement of their lives from that one little benefit that they're getting from this tax, I think it might at least loosen people up a bit more to the idea of a full CGT or even a wealth tax, I think. So yeah. I think there is an advantage, like there is method to the madness, I think is what I'm trying to say here. Even though it might not be exactly what we want, or quick enough, as a lot of people sort of think it might not be, but I think. So look into some of these stats. If you want to go down a bit, it actually breaks it down by like party and stuff. And there are a couple of interesting things here. Let me make it a bit bigger for me because it's tiny. Okay, so support for full CGT, obviously more and no, I don't think this is the full CGT.
Oh.
No, this is probably the light CGT. No, sorry, I wasn't meaning different thing.
Yes, sorry.
I can't remember this. I think this is for the partial CGT. Anyway, in Labour, of course, majority support, or don't know, I suppose. National majority oppose. Greens majority support. Now, this one I thought was interesting. NZ First, they have 51.8% in support, which I thought was interesting. Which I didn't. Did you expect that? Because I didn't expect that.
Kind of, yes, but that's just more from like a. They always weirdly kind of go like this over a lot of the party's alignments. Okay, and also because, I mean, capital gains in terms of actually helping, like, because, I mean, when he's got to power his superannuants somehow. True.
Maybe that would have been Winston's proposal. Rather than the meta card, it would be gold card 2. Or silver card, maybe. And the other interesting one was TPM, opposition, majority oppose, which I also thought was interesting.
That one kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I thought that one was definitely a surprise. So, I don't know what it means. Probably nothing.
No, my brain just was making a sassy joke of going, John Tummyheady probably owns a bunch of stuff and doesn't want to have to pay tax on it. That's true. That's probably a whole nother conversation.
Anyway, yeah. But I don't know. I just thought some of those numbers were interesting. We don't need to go
absolutely
too much else into it. But yeah, look, that's what we got this week. That's what Labour's running with, and it would be nice to see just a little bit more meat on that bone. Who knows? Look, I think they might have. Did they rule out a wealth tax? Like not even like their own, just in general, like saying
who?
Labour. I can't remember. Someone correct us if they have, because
they did in the last like administration.
Yeah, well, because I wonder
they weren't going to do one, but now they're finally doing a light version of it, which is good. Thank God. Yeah.
But also I'm wondering now is like, okay, if it does come to the coalition deal, what are the Greens going to be putting on the table and sort of
well,
saying,
see, that's
hey,
exactly where I'm kind of sitting. Like, me and my therapist, we had a conversation about it, right? And I don't even mean this unironically. No, me and my therapist, we just have to talk about this government in so many of my fucking sessions. And because obviously I was talking about, wishing it had been a bit more and had been an actual proper wealth tax, but kind of brought to the point of like, well, yes, but this is a good start because hopefully then the Greens, because also this is the other thing is, if we look at the Greens' alternative budget, we could have free dental for all. We could have a bunch of stuff. We could also create 40,000 jobs sustainably. So there's like a bunch of other things that I think could be added to this, but at least it's a starting point, and I think will definitely it'll give the Greens some space to start from and work on hopefully loosening up.
And the free dental for all is like a big thing too. Like that's me. I'm at that critical stage where I need to be going to the dentist more to avoid like big issues with my teeth, but I can't afford that shit, and I'm not going.
Oh, it's so expensive. Yeah. And the thing is, like, oral health is actually tied to so many other physical ailments. Like I believe like a lot of cardiovascular issues are correlated with bad, oral hygiene. There's
some migraines.
Yeah, there's just so many, and I mean it's also right next to your brain, so like it's a very intricate system going on in there.
And there's the big ones like when you need your wisdom teeth taken out.
Oh, you mean like me? Yeah,
like me. I saw the bill on my fucking wisdom teeth and I was like, oh my goodness, you just got paid thousands of dollars for like an hour's work. That's insane.
See, I was kind of lucky in that I just kind of let them rot and turn into a problem, and then I was able to go through the hospital where they only charged $150 to remove basically my impacted tooth, because I originally got quoted something like $4,000, I think, when I first was supposed to get it looked into, but there was no way I was going to be able to afford that.
That's over a month's pay for me, so that's that's,
I mean,
that's insane.
who the fuck can just drop 4K like that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
But that's the thing, is there are so many people, you know, like in these situations, who will just let it get to a really horrible extent. And quite possibly be going and having more doctor's visits, because turns out they've got all these other health things that are happening, which are probably actually just their teeth needing to be fixed and all that kind of thing. So it's just, I feel like if they had have gone 3 free dentist visits over 3 free doctor's visits, I would
actually be more excited, I think, about that too.
I would be like, yo, we on, let's go.
Yeah. Like, my last GP trip cost me like $50, maybe less, actually. Which isn't terrible compared to some places. Yeah. Like, that was fine.
Some places charge like $80, which is crazy.
Yeah. Anyway. I think we've said
let's
about
head
all we
into
need
the
to
next...
say about that. Who wants to talk about tax anymore, right, guys?
Right.
Spending a week. I mean, hey, people are talking about it. I appreciate it. A lot of info going quicker than I can actually read. But I appreciate you guys engaging in the conversation.
Oh, look. Someone just saw that they catching up at 2 times speed. Just got to the bit where someone is catching up at 1.25 speed. I'm coming, my homies. That is adorable, and I can't wait to hear me say this.
We need everyone to tell us when they're watching not live and what speed they're watching at.
Right? That's so funny. Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Speaking of not funny, though.
Yeah, we're moving on to the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's go. Oh, I haven't played the theme. There we go.
Do.
2 more predator queen hornets were found in Auckland. Biosecurity New Zealand discovered 2 additional queen yellow-legged hornets in Auckland within roughly 2 kilometers of the first queen, located on the 17th of October. The find intensifies concerns about the invasive species, which preys on honeybees, and in Europe it has impacted up to 30% of bee colonies. So yeah, this is a nasty species. Once it gets introduced, start fucking shit up big. Officials are calling to the public to report sightings of hornets or small nests as small as a tennis ball via photographs and the National Biosecurity Hotline. The beekeeping industry is particularly alarmed, with roughly 4,000 beekeeping businesses in New Zealand and already facing market pressures. The arrival of the hornet species could worsen the situation. So yeah, guys, if you see any big fuck off wasps, like let's say it's about 2 centimeters long, so these are big fucking things.
That is big.
Oh, hornets are big. That's what basically, like, I think the difference between a hornet and a wasp. I think all hornets are technically wasps, I think.
Oh,
but they're just big. They're just big.
Yes,
fuck off
I
wasps.
see. That makes sense.
Yeah, I believe. I mean, I might be wrong.
They're somehow the assholes of the wasp world, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen bees killing wasps though, or hornets? It's pretty cool. So essentially,
I think I might have.
It's teamwork, and they all swarm the invasive wasp or hornet and start vibrating their bodies. And essentially, because the bee's tolerance to heat is a couple of degrees more than a wasp. This might be for a specific species, so don't take as gospel that all bees do this. But essentially, they vibrate and create so much kinetic energy that it overheats the wasp, and the wasp dies. And the bees are just like,
pretty
cool.
based.
Yeah, it's communism at work.
I mean, isn't there just what do they call it? Crowd crush? You know how that people started.
It's less
dying.
it's less like crowd crush, more like crowd
vibrate on you.
Vibration.
Vibrated to death.
It's like crowd heat. You know, it's like you're in the middle of a crowd and you get like heat stroke. It's probably the closer equivalent. Like it's like a cold day and you just.
That sounds horrible.
Anyway, keep your eyes peeled for those things, guys. All right, moving on. ACC stops payments to record number of long-term clients. In the year to June 2025, nearly 8,000 clients were removed from ACC's long-term claims pool, roughly a 20% increase on the previous year. ACC says the clients were deemed work-ready and no longer injured. I love that classification. You're no longer injured. Some claimants dispute this, saying that they still suffer chronic conditions and have medical advice stating they are not fit for work, but were told payments would cease in 28 days. ACC states that the figures reflect an important achievement following changes to how long-term claims are managed, including new case management teams. I wonder what the important achievement is. From in their own words, chucking 8,000 people off like support is an achievement.
For me, I'm like, okay, so they're saying that these people were no longer injured or ready for work, and yet their doctor is saying otherwise. Who the fuck told ACC? Like, maybe ACC could have told those people that they were better. I'm sure they would have liked to know.
We've re-clarified what an injury is.
Oh, well, you probably recategorized things so that you've made it a harder criteria for people to meet, so you can kick them off.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what your doctor says. Your doctor says a lot of things. And all these woke doctors, you know, they're colluding. They're all like unionists, and they're colluding with people just to get them free time off work. Everyone knows that. Anyway. Yeah, no, this sucks.
Also, I agree with Scruff. Go after the fucking tax evaders.
Yep.
Do something productive.
It's almost like IRD had a report about all that like 2 years ago, and when this government came in, they actually axed IRD making that report.
And then they're making changes to Stats NZ as well.
Yeah.
So like, fucking hell, these.
You guys don't report on these things. We don't like you reporting on these things. Report on other things.
All is well in Ba Sing Se.
All is well in Ba Sing Se. No one's crippled anymore. It's.
Isn't it just great? Isn't it lovely?
It's all fine. All right. So, new school curriculum is unpopular with principals, as we all know. That this got released last week. The new school curriculum on the government's website, which I believe had kept quite a few people under a non-disclosure agreement. I believe a lot of the people who contributed to it or gave the experts who gave advice, I guess, probably the best way to phrase that. So the government released a draft curriculum documents for 6 learning areas: science, technology, social sciences, language, arts, health, and PE, and has revised the maths curriculum. The Principals Federation said the changes felt old-fashioned, sidelined the Treaty of Waitangi / Maori knowledge, and appeared written by non-New Zealanders. I mean, you know, just like the lunch meals or something, I wouldn't be shocked if they had gone to a completely offshore source, and we'll get more into that in a second. Actually, I got some details on that.
Oh.
Yeah, spicy. Principals described their reaction as ranging from disgusted to just absolutely ridiculous, and said they'd lost total trust in how the curriculum was developed. Subject teacher associations of art, technology, health, and PE flagged concerns over narrow definitions of subjects, a heavy workload of prescribed content, and less time for specialist teaching, because according to Erica, every brain thinks the same.
I would have liked to have been notified of this.
Yeah, I didn't know this. Yeah. Why is it I seem to think so differently? I don't know. We're not individuals. You're all the same. You're a cog in the machine. Act like it. While the Ministry of Education has described the new maths document as merely an update, some say it's effectively a new curriculum. The Ministry of Education said it will listen to feedback and work with sectors before finalizing. The critics argue that the consultation phase is already too delayed, and you know they're probably not going to listen to any feedback they get anyway because they don't. It just seems like it's a courtesy to avoid backlash, just to say, see, we're being fair and democratic. You guys had your input. We just didn't listen to any of it. A recent report from E. Tangata outlined the key influencer in the new reforms was the Core Knowledge Foundation, which is a non-for-profit foundation with some links to networks such as the Atlas Network. Yay! I should have a spooky theme that I play. Here we go.
Right.
That every time you mention Atlas.
I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that? Oh well, too late. It was the X-Files theme.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
Nice. Hopefully everyone else got to hear that.
For decades, the founder E.D. Hirsch Jr. From the Core Knowledge Foundation has said that multicultural and social justice education produces achievement gaps, claiming students are taught to be victims. So that's where they got this is the guy that they got their primary advice on this new curriculum for. So that explains its lack of multiculturalism and why they probably axed the LGBT sex education stuff as well. Which, by the way, that's something Winston Peters. There's a post from Facebook for a few hours ago from Winston Peters saying, "We are winning the war on woke. The woke relationship and sexuality guidelines have been removed from school curriculum and have been replaced with a curriculum that actually educates, not indoctrinates."
Old news. Holy shit! Could he be any slower to that shit? Fucking hell.
I know. There is more to come very soon. New Zealand winning the war on woke. Watch this space. I so hope he's just gone. I hope they get just... they're not. I think they're probably going to get maybe a tad higher than they did last year, honestly. NZ first.
Probably.
But he'll probably take that as a mandate that he's doing great. But that just makes me hope so much more that they're gone. Either... by next year, end of next year, honestly, because I hate this shit. One of the core criticisms from the Principals Federation is that the new draft sidesteps Te Tiriti o Waitangi as a core expectation. As one principal put it, inclusion have long been foundational principles in our uniquely New Zealand curriculum. Now they're not even core expectations. In the arts draft curriculum, the move to lump dance and drama under a single performing arts banner and to define them solely in terms of them preparing for students to perform rather than recognizing them for broader skills. So they've just lumped these art forms into a single performing arts curriculum.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. 44 math experts warned that that the newly rewritten curriculum seemed more political than educational, unfair to teachers, and potentially damaging to learners. They said it contained multiple errors and an unrealistic... I love that they just had stuff wrong.
Wow.
Unrealistic number of learning objectives, including 86 for Year 1 students alone, which is almost 3 times the previous number and far beyond the comparable international curricula, which sort of contradicts something that I think Erica says later. Yeah, here on the morning report, Stanford dismissed the maths experts, saying the open letter was a bit silly, saying that the changes drew on teacher feedback and a little bit of international benchmarking, which can't be the case because apparently we're way beyond the international curricula according to these maths experts. So I'm going to believe the experts over Erica, personally.
Unfortunately, not everyone will, though, and that's depressing.
I know. She also claimed that to have heard from many academics and principals who love the new curriculum, which I noted, but we haven't, which is odd, considering she's heard from so many. You'd think at least one person would be out there going, no, this is great. This is great. Like I don't know. I didn't even see on like the 6 o'clock news anyone that they captured who is a principal going, "No, I support this. This is good shit." So I don't know. Yeah. Oh, here was another thing. Under the update, children are expected to learn content years earlier than before. For example, Year 6 pupils calculating with rational numbers was previously taught in Year 8. So that's essentially stuff that you would have been learning in last year of intermediate is now going to be taught last year primary school in terms of mathematics, which I remember going from primary school to intermediate, and that was a bit of a jump. So this is probably a significant jump for the year 6 pupils to probably learn. And ultimately, you're probably just going to see more people fail. You're probably going to see higher failure rates, ultimately, because there's probably going to be the opposite of what they want.
If the fucking plan for this already has multiple errors, I doubt the fucking education won't have errors in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, there was, I just thought I'd outline this one. This was on the New Zealand subreddit, a history teacher, or maybe social studies teacher, called New Kiwi Guy. He was outlining some of the stuff that he saw. The social sciences curriculum is absolutely insane. It expects year 7 students to learn the French Revolution in a couple of weeks. The history units of year 9 and 10 are longer and cover more material than my year 13 history class does now.
Jesus.
I see a class 4 to 5 hours a week, while the curriculum says I should have my year 10 class 3 hours a week and somehow cover more material with less advanced students. And that doesn't even include the units on politics, geography, economics, and financial literacy I'm somehow also meant to fit in. The actual content is also way over the top, teaching about the Nazi concept of Volksgemeinschaft at year 10, for example. Fuck knows what that is. I guess we're teaching...
Volksgemeinschaft would be
all she had to say
it
was teaching Nazi concepts.
Now,
now I'm concerned. It's probably something about, like, efficiency of economy of scale. No, Nazis are horrible at that. I don't know what the fuck it would be. The curriculum is so specific about what must be taught. We have no idea. I have no idea how my geography teacher colleagues will cope with the history sections. Never mind the general primary teachers. So yeah. Did you find out what it meant?
Volksgemeinschaft is a national community that was a central concept in Nazi ideology, promising a classless society based on racial purity.
Oh,
that sounds like just a bit of a topic to
let's teach fucking second year high school students all about that. Hey kids, have you heard about racial superiority?
How old are you? Like what? You're 13 when you start high school.
Yep.
Yeah.
14. I was 14, I think.
Wow, 13
I was
to 14.
a bit older than some people.
So then you'd have like what, 15 to 16 would be the year that they're starting this one, which, like, again, I'm sure they could, but also it sounds like a pretty big topic to give it the justice that it would deserve. I imagine that would not be nearly enough time.
Yep. Anyway, look, definitely lots to be concerned about here. It definitely doesn't sound like a slight adjustment.
Yeah. It's also just so fucking irritating watching this government gaslight people, being like, stop politicizing everything. Meanwhile, all they're fucking doing is politicizing.
Not to mention politics is everything, and everything
There's also
is politics.
The other part, is that people need to remember, like, I think I'm just so over people using the term politicizing or political as a negative, derogatory. I'm like, politics means people. Literally, that's what the word means. Can we remember that? Oh, I don't like to be political. What, you don't like to be a person? Well, I'm sorry, you are a fucking person, and you live in a space where you have to at least be slightly political.
I don't like discussing serious things.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it is, yeah.
Let's not be serious and talk about serious things. Let's just be fluffy and bubbly and... Oh my god, I met my mom last night. And it was great. She was so mad. She was just going on. She's like, these guys aren't getting reelected. No, they're not. All she had was nothing. But she was just complaining about Luxon, and I was just like, yes, go, mom. She's just complaining nonstop. It was great. And it's like, what do you hate him? And she's like, oh, he reminds. He's like an Otago Boys kid or something. And I was like, holy shit. And I was like, oh my god, mom, you're right. He is like an Otago Boys prep boy or some shit.
Oh, I love the fact that your mum was just like, he seems like an Otago boy. Like, whoa. What does that say about Otago boys?
Well, fuck Otago Boys. I went to King's.
Exactly.
So
anyway. For some reason, I can't see the comment on our social stream, but I saw a comment pointing out that Nazi ideology over Māori history. So, yeah, that's what we're deprioritizing the history of this country for Nazi ideology.
Yep.
Good job, Erica.
Yeah. Anyway, I had to stop my mum complaining about Luxon too much. Well, because my sister, it was at my sister's house, and she's like, no, don't get her started again.
Please, I've already been listening to this. I can't handle it anymore.
I love the fact that she was complaining before I even got there. I love that so much.
I mean, that's what this government's doing, though, and that's also kind of almost the beautiful thing about it is like you're telling me that your mother, who wants you to cut your hair as a present to her, is mad at this government. That's awesome.
And they own a lot of property, like business related stuff, which they're just getting out of. But yeah, that was another thing too. Like, you know, the CGT goes completely against their own incentives, but you know they're in support of what Labor's doing by the sounds of it. So
hell yeah, but, I love to hear that.
Yeah, but they're getting out of the business now because I think that'd be actually good to get them on the show to tell what's going on in sort of the health industry, at least like private, government subsidized stuff. I'd let them explain it, but I think that would be a good thing to get them on the show. Maybe after the New Year's, once, because they're selling the business this month, come hell or high water. Yeah. And Dad's been like so stressed out because he's been, you know, he's been in the situation where he's like, do I try and get this deal and just cut a loss so I can keep my employees employed because it's just about Christmas and he has to break to a bunch of people that they might not have a job, you know, in like a month.
True.
Which is just something he's been wrestling with so fucking hard, and he's been stressed out, and it's not been fun, you know, just sort of having those kinds of conversations with him. But it's like fuck, like he's tried everything, and I've been like, Dad, look, you've fucking tried you've tried to sell to everyone you can, and like the only party that was kind of interested was just non-stop fucking him around, and like every bit of ground he sort of he got to the point, because he just wants to retire, right? He got to the point where he's like, okay, look, I will keep the assets, because they didn't want to buy the assets, they just wanted to buy the business or the service. And he's like, okay, I'll keep the assets. I'll just be like a landlord, I guess. He doesn't want to do that, but he's like, I guess I'll do that just so the residents don't become displaced, and at least that way, my employees will still have a job once I leave the position as well. And I think even after that, they decide to back out of that deal as well. So it's looking like that might not even go through. Last I checked. So yeah, I can't remember where he's at, but I think he's maybe at a point where he's going to try and make some kind of transitional deal to move all the residents to another service, as well as try and get a deal with some of his employees, like a guarantee on being employed, or something like that. But yeah, I'm still not too informed on all of the details, but
I mean, it sounds like he must be a good person if this is distressing him.
Oh, he will have a lot to complain about if I can get him on one day. It would be great.
Absolutely.
The tea he can spill, and he'll have no strings attached at that point. He'll just be like, "Oh, there's no backlash if I fucking badmouth anyone at this stage." So,
and if your mom ever wants to come on and rant about the government, she is more than fucking welcome to come hang out. I would love your mom to be on the show.
She would hate this show because she hates the news.
Yeah, honestly, valid.
I just don't watch it. It's dreadful. It's just dreadful.
Yeah, it is stressful. It is stressful to follow the news, unfortunately.
Sell the business to him. Trust me, he's tried as much as he can. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think we were talking about some of this stuff last year.
Yeah, well, because
you and I a bit.
And because of all the change they've made in the Ministry of Health and stuff, they're just not renewing the contract, and that expires at, I think, the end of the month. So it doesn't matter. Like, you know, he's had a ticking clock, essentially at this stage, because they just said, look, we can't do another fucking year of this. We can't. So yeah, but look, I'll let them explain that if that ever becomes a thing that they want to come on and talk about. But I think we should move on to our next depressing thing.
A not good story.
A not good story.
It's never fucking good.
Yeah. Oh, we got an
this
This
guy.
is a subcategory. Bad cops.
Yeah. This is.
Bad cops. Bad cops.
You know what? I can see it's playing, but I can't hear it.
Oh, you're not getting it. Oh.
Yeah, I just realized I could see the lines.
Okay.
That's fine, as long as everyone else gets to enjoy it.
Oh, there we go. It's because I don't have have it hooked up to the...
Oh, hook me up, bruh.
Here, I'll hook you up. I'll play it again.
Hook a brother up.
Now they can hear it.
Nice.
Anyway, on the bad cops.
Right.
So, police audit after McSkimmings saga sees several other staff investigated. Yay.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's not a concern at all. Following the resignation of, is it Jevon?
Jevon.
Jevon?
I just say Jevon.
Jevon? Oh, yeah, I don't know. McSkimming and revelations about improper material on his devices. Improper material, huh? I wonder,
No, don't say it like that. Don't say it like that.
Don't say it like that.
It's kids and animals. Don't say it like that. Exactly.
Anyway, the police had launched a rapid review on information security controls and internet usage. The audit uncovered a small numbers of users of concern, including an officer who had been stood down for inappropriate content on a police-issued device, though not allegedly objectionable material. So fuck knows what that means.
Okay.
It's inappropriate content, but not objectionable.
Interesting.
Okay. I wonder what that could be.
Yeah. I want to know where the line sits.
Yeah, I want to know what's objectionable and what's not. Maybe it's just a picture of like his own nudes. I don't know. Key findings of the review were inconsistent internet access policies across work groups, inadequate monitoring and filtering mechanisms on police devices, unmanaged device used outside of network controls, and lack of centralized login analysis tools, and something about infosec. Yeah, but the other four were a bit more like unmanaged devices outside of network controls. That implies me that they have like some kind of proxy or VPN, I guess they use on their devices, but they're like, so they must have been skirting around it with like a VPN, maybe. I think.
Yeah,
that's what...
or maybe like using dual SIM cards potentially.
Oh,
even.
yeah. There you go.
Maybe.
But yeah, it sounds like they've been playing it pretty loosey goosey with the people's work devices. You know, if you don't have these strict policies in place, like I work in IT, and if you don't put these strict policies in place, like people will just start mixing their personal shit with
their... fuck yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
I mean, wasn't it Erica may have sent stuff from her own Gmail?
Yeah,
back and forth. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that was something like 10 years ago. Hillary Clinton, when she was like Secretary of State or something, was sending, confidential emails from her phones and shit.
Release the Hillary emails.
It's probably just sitting there casually approving a fucking drone strike from her phone. Yes, kill them. Kill them all.
That is one way to do it, when you're probably sitting there having a fucking wine with the girlfriend or some shit.
Yeah, well, it doesn't seem like if Trump was doing that shit too. Remember, they were on like Signal or something, just casually having a chat before they bombed Yemen. Bomb Yemen. Oh my god. Anyway, the commissioner has reintroduced audits, which also made me question why the fuck were they even unintroduced? Why did they unintroduce audits of people's devices? Fuck knows.
Yeah. I mean, especially in a place like the police. I think you could understand if it was maybe a different area, but
yeah, I
feel like that's an area you want them regularly checked up on.
I think anything where people have access to people's personal information, there should be regular auditing going on, just to make sure people aren't holding on to that sensitive information.
Yeah, that too, because fuck, the amount of time. Well, because there was also recently in the news an old desk was found here in Wellington that actually had like confidential documents from New Zealand government still inside of them. I don't know if you saw that. I'll look for it if you haven't.
Yeah, I don't. No, I think I'm thinking of just Trump Mar-a-Lago shit. Yeah. No, I don't recall that one. Anyway, yeah, so they're reintroducing the audits of data and internet users policies on devices and is assessing standalone devices used outside of police network. The police will not disclose the number of staff under investigation, citing investigations are still in the investigation phase.
Yes.
Which is, what? An investigation's always in the investigation phase, isn't it? That's why they call it an investigation.
True, but I guess that would imply that maybe, like, if people maybe expect them to be going and doing more about that investigation.
I suppose, but they could still at least be like, I don't know, we have an estimated 30 individuals of interest. Or, you know, they could, I don't know. That's not as transparent as I'd like. I don't like it that they're not releasing numbers, or at least, you know, estimates. Anyway.
Also, I was wrong. It was Wellington Council, not the government.
Oh, classic Wellington Council.
But yeah, found in an old desk that was on its way to the tip.
Green's fault. Tory's fault. She should have known.
Yeah, it was from the former mayor, Kerry Prendergast. So, the former mayor, not Tory, former mayor.
Oh yeah, she is the former mayor now, isn't she?
She is the former mayor now.
Yeah,
sadly.
she's officially stepped down, right? She's gone.
Yeah, she officially hands it over the fucking chains.
Did she get her seat as the Māori
No,
ward?
she did not get Māori ward seat. Way to make me sad again. Fuck.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, sadly, she did not win. But
that sucks.
Hey, I'm sure that just means she's got more time to keep cooking and getting ready for the next round of elections.
Exactly.
Maybe even next year's elections. Who knows?
Also, they've still got a Māori ward, which is also a positive.
Yes, we did keep vote to keep our Māori ward, thankfully.
Lovely.
So,
yeah, all right. I'm not sure if we have much more to say about this,
I think
but just fucking cops gonna be cops, you know. Actually, that was something we reported on. I think 2 weeks ago, that some cops were going around like recording like a lot of minority youth.
They were changing the laws around whether they're allowed to do to have that access to public images and materials.
And there was concern around that. So I guess at least this will hopefully address some of those concerns. Now that they're going to be re-auditing people's devices, so they will at least catch people who are keeping, you know, I guess minorities on their phones for just fuck knows why they do that. It's like a note like, target this guy later, I don't like him.
Yeah, saw this brown kid being sus, check in later. You know?
This guy looks too happy.
What I just hope that it's not like, I'm just hoping that there's not somehow, for lack of a better word, maybe a CP ring going around the police, you know? Or that's what I'm actually the most concerned and worried about, is actually, is this just, they've found some other bad eggs that's in different stuff, or is it in line with what Jevon has had and / did? I think that's where I'm a little worried, but
I'm offended that you would even make that insinuation.
Right?
That's horrible.
Surely cops couldn't be corrupt.
These are finest. These are the finest specimens that we have in this country. They are the most honorable among us.
Right? They're not just literally any other human like you and me who could be fallible.
Speaking of the honourable, over 100 police officers have been investigated after 30,000 breath tests were falsified. An internal audit found, this is why we need internal audits, found between 1st of July 2024, so this is only a year, and 30th of September 2025, out of approximately 5.3 million alcohol breath screening tests, 30,961 were recorded as falsely or erroneously recorded. Around 120 officers are now under investigation or disciplinary review in connection with the falsified simulation or simulated tests. The tests in question included instances where the tests were apparently recorded, but no driver was actually tested, which makes me think this is like a issue with quotas more than it is like trying to set people up in frame. Like this is like, I've got a quota to meet, so I'm just gonna falsify the records just to be like, and I guess that partly goes into an issue with quotas and stuff, like just flat quotas that people need to meet. Not only
I'm
like
curious, because do they have specific quotas for them?
Yeah, well, no, because that's always a thing. Cops have quotas that they need to meet, and that's why if you've been towards the end of the year and you've even got like pulled over and you're like, he'll let me off the warning, and the cops are just grumpier than usual and less lenient, it's because they got to meet their quota by the end of the fucking year. They got to make sure they get their arrests or their tickets in, or however the fuck it works. But I believe that's the case. They have like flat quotas that they need to meet.
Which, yeah, would be fucking stupid if that is the case, because surely you wouldn't have thought, like, I could understand if they're like, hey, we want to make sure that you're running these types of, breath stops regularly enough.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems strange to, potentially put a number on the amount you have to take. Either way, the fact they've been falsely put down is concerning, because, I mean, there is the potential of, like, maybe this is a quota issue. Or imagine something way worse. They're just trying to let people off.
Uh-oh.
That would be much worse.
That would be horrible. We don't want to let people off.
Right?
I'm sorry, I go arrest you because I got a quota to meet.
Literally.
Yeah, so, like, express that disciplinary and review process is underway, so, look, it's probably not the end of the story, but it sounds like nothing too nefarious going on. It's just a systemic issue with quotas, I think, at the end of the day.
MLB has a really good point. Could it be that they're being smart and they're saving their valuable time and doing something better with that time?
True. What would they be doing? Would they be policing?
Yeah, definitely wouldn't be solving real crime.
No.
That'd be crazy. Well, I guess now we're out of bad cops. We're going into the ugly.
Into the ugly news. This was your story, so if you want to report on this one, feel free.
Just because I'm Māori doesn't mean it was mine.
You added the story.
Technically I did add the story.
Yeah, you did.
I'm just being a dick. You're Māori too, so that doesn't work. Unproven. It's alleged. I'm just going around saying I'm a minority without any actual proof. To get that Maori privilege.
Yeah, to get that little bit of privilege.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we've had a bit of news coming out. Actually, to be fair, there's been so many headlines between last week and now.
Okay.
We're probably technically missing a couple, but I mean,
this shit's been so hard to keep up with.
Yeah, it's been a lot, and I mean, I'm glad that we're seeing now an update where we've got the iwi Cheers Forum looking like they're going to be stepping in and to try intervene and sort out what's going on. So for those of you who aren't aware, the iwi Cheers Forum comprises of elected representatives from more than 70 iwi across the country. So they are where I believe Professor Margaret Mutu is a part of the iwi's Cheer Forum. Many awesome people. But yeah, they're basically looking like they're coming in to try and, I guess, fix this mess, because unfortunately it has kind of become a bit of a mess. We had John Tamihere was at the electorate Te Pāti Māori electorate branch calls for party president John Tamihere to resign. So this is the Te Tai Tonga electorate, I believe, which is my electorate. They are calling for the immediate resignation of John Tamihere, in case you haven't heard.
I had.
Yes, well, so they're calling for him to resign, and I believe John's come out and started going and having a go at, is it Maria Mino and Tākuta? trying to be like, well, you guys should just resign because you're, like blah, 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 blah. Just, again, trying to make it out like it's definitely not Te Pāti Māori, it's definitely not anything within there that could be wrong. And I mean, I can't say I'm surprised because see the aunties and uncles, that's the thing, it's all the aunties and uncles, they're coming out to be like, what the fuck is going on? And I mean, a lot of us have been kind of watching and wondering what the fuck is going on. I mean, I personally have kind of, from the moment Edu came out and said, hey, this is what's going on, I had no reason not to believe him from the very start. Nothing that's gone on, even like from TPM, I was quite disgusted when they sent out that late night email trying to be all, oh, well, Maria Mino overspent and Edu was in. These were two incidences, the so-called overspend and the so-called intimidation. Both of these were activities that had already happened, that everyone was aware of. TPM, like, it was all good, everything had been signed off. The small slight issue between Edu and a security officer, all of that had been sorted. It was only when Edu was a whistleblower that they were like then all of a sudden coming for him and creating the smear campaign, which I'll be honest made them look really guilty, at least to me. I think some people were still kind of fence sitting a little bit, but it just came across as just throwing a tanty. And so him obviously trying to be all Maria Mino and Takuta, it's your guys, you should leave. It's like, it just feels kind of like a desperate grab by a flailing leader or dictator that we've kind of been, I mean, Edu told us. And we're now seeing it kind of flowing down because obviously there has also been a petition that has been put out. So I'll find the petition so that I can put it
at least this is happening now rather than like in 6 months or 8 months or something.
See, that's what I'm hoping. And
I hope this gets sorted quickly.
Exactly. And that's where I'm hoping that with the Iwi Cheers Forum coming and kind of stepping up to be like, okay, we'll hopefully be able to sort everyone out. I'm just glad, because I don't think that this is something that could be, I guess, solved without them, in my opinion. Like, they kind of are the best people to go through. I also think, like, for me, I feel like there's also kind of, I think once they've sorted this out, probably gotten rid of John, I do think that they need to actually look at the way that their constitution is set up, because I think the fact that they have an executive board that is John Tamihere, his daughter, her husband, and Debbie, I think that's far too incestuous. I think that's far too related. Like, I wouldn't feel confident if any party was set up like that. Like, I think I kind of drew on a kind of analogy when I was kind of thinking about it, and I'm like, if this was not Te Pāti Māori, imagine if, say, the National Party, say John Key was the head of that executive board, his daughter was married to Christopher Luxon, and then there was Nicola Willis. Everyone would be absolutely spewing their rings out going, this is corruption, this is bad, this is wrong. And this is where I think, unfortunately, funnily enough, we see benevolent racism coming into this, where I think, unfortunately, people have felt like if they actually pointed out, and again, I think it's the same way that Edu was finding it hard to realize that he was going to have to be a whistleblower about all this, is because this wouldn't be acceptable in any other party, nor should it be acceptable within Te Pāti Māori. Like, absolutely understand, having a board, but there should be a way that it's kind of constitutionally expected that you've got a diverse range of voices and opinions. Like, even if it was like you could have to have one woman, one man, one fucking young, one fucking old, whatever. But I think there definitely there's a flaw in the system. And the flaw is kind of showing that corruption would be easy to not only start but continue when you have the same people who aren't just like working together and making these decisions. They're living with each other. They're having family get-togethers with each other. They're having family issues with each other. And I think when you have also that kind of overlap of mixing home and work, family and business, when you get to a point when it's this mixed in, like, it just kind of seems like it's a recipe for failure, no matter who is doing it, I think. So yeah, I think there's a lot in all of this that it's going to have to kind of, I guess, question the way that TPM is currently kind of operating, but also just kind of, I think just TPM need to acknowledge that, you know what, maybe they've done something, maybe things haven't been great. I just think the inability to like actually voice that you could be part of the problem, it just shows that they're more kind of interested in controlling a narrative about them than actually doing what's best for Māori in general.
I mean, I don't have much more opinion beyond just, I hope they get this shit together soon. So.
Well, yeah. Fingers crossed.
And we need to move on, so.
Yes.
Let's just fucking flip through a couple of these next ones very, very quickly.
Oh, God, yes, I see.
I'll just do it super quick. Yeah, this is a good one. All right, Wayne Brown got mad at the government today. Well, not today, but yes, 2 days ago, 1st November. He said he wants to improve transport in Auckland from appalling to quite good, is his aspiration, I suppose. So, I mean, go for it. Set the bar low, I suppose. We want quite good. Criticized central government, essentially saying, look, we're like 1/3 of the country. We've got 1 point whatever fucking million people here. We need more special treatment. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. And look, I think that's mainly why people like him, is he's got a big voice. He's not afraid to, try and strong arm the government when he can. So I think that's where he gets a lot of his support from, even though he's not the most appealing man himself. So, look, we can appreciate people where appreciation's due. I do like it that he stands up to government. He's like, fuck off with your rates caps. Bullshit. Yeah,
I think the only thing that confused me in any of that was like the way he said gonna take the traffic from like appalling to good. I'm like, haven't you been the mayor of Auckland this whole time? Are you giving yourself shit?
Yeah, well, because he also said, he referenced the city's response to the 2023 extreme weather events, admitting the city and its systems weren't prepared, and he pledged improvements moving forward. It's like, mate, you've had 2 years to do that already. You haven't done shit. Like,
yeah, it just sounded kind of weird. It almost felt like a self burn of like, this last fucking lot. It's like, you are the last lot.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, let's keep moving on. We need to get through these ones quick. Oh yeah, there was a bid to turn Kelston Boys into a charter school, but the principals basically said, "Fuck off, not us."
Nope.
Yep, and
from Bangers Education. That sounds fake. That sounds like a porn thing.
It kind of does, honestly. With Bangers Education.
Oh, and Wellbeing Trust. Okay.
Yay. Yeah, anyway, critics of charter schools in New Zealand say this signals privatisation risk in public and education and deepen inequality rather than address it, and I pretty much agree. That's partly what private schools lead to, is more social segregation between classes, you know.
Yeah.
Rather than it being something that's mandated by law, like blacks go to different schools than whites, it just becomes a financial thing, you know. Poor people all go together with and not the rich people. They get the great education. But everything's fair. Everything's fair for everyone somehow.
Surely.
Anyway, keep moving. New Zealand Defence Force deploys liaison officer to Israel. Why? Fuck knows. Apparently, it's to help monitor the implementation of the Gaza ceasefire agreement, as we all know is just going great. They sent it to Israel, by the way, even though, which is confusing to our government stance, considering we seem to be painting Hamas as the issue. But we're sending someone to Israel to help Israel behave, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's this slightly strange one, because it's not like we're going to be leading their military or anything, so it's just going to be probably an advisory. Well, it's just going to be some kind of advisory position where this guy says, "Don't do that," and they're like, "All right, we'll consider
I'll do
it
anyway."
We'll consider it. We considered it. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not much more to say beyond this. Apparently, any further deployments beyond this initial period will be a decision for the New Zealand government. So, this is just a one-off, guys. This is the only one we're approving. This time. Yep. This was one that you had. I'm not sure if you want to go over this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to really go into too heavily. I just thought it was funny because basically, well, a former All Black, which I was like, I'd never heard of him, but apparently he's challenged David Seymour over fire truck comments. Basically, David Seymour tried to make it sound like the firefighters and unionists have just been kind of playing up all the kind of issues around not having enough fire trucks and clearly needing more funding because that's stopping them from doing their job. And basically, Divine stated that our truck had been through 5 intercoolers this year alone, and on a truck we were on last week, the siren stopped working on the way to the call, and then a spotlight in the cab caught on fire. And this is just what they're dealing with on the way to a fire. He also said over the weekend, last weekend, Whangare's truck broke down on the way to a fire where firefighters almost died during that fire. He said that he hasn't seen a brand new truck delivered in 14 years as a fireman. I did technically find that there had been a new truck, but this was New Zealand's first electric fire truck. And from what I read, this is actually at Christchurch. That's for Christchurch Airport. This is a fire truck that basically is purely for the airport. However, I did see in August, they reported that we got new fire trucks. However, about 30 out of 34 new trucks were actually built on the chassis that Fire and Emergency bought several years ago and put in storage. So, not quite as new as we'd probably have thought if they're calling them new. No. Divine challenged Seymour to meet him at any station in the country and said he'd be able to highlight issues each station's crews were facing due to underfunding. Seymour said he would be happy to meet with him to discuss the issue. FENZ and the New Zealand Professional Firefighters Unions are in a planned bargaining session this week, though. Oh. So, fingers crossed that goes good for them. All right, now we're into good news, people. I promise there's good news.
All right. Yeah, this is pretty good. Government announces that 140 new hospital beds to boost capacity. which is definitely needed. Where the fuck they're going, I'm not exactly sure.
Do they have doctors to actually perform on the patients?
That's the other issue. The funding for the new bed comes as a part of the overall health system strategy, with priority for regions experiencing the longest ER wait times and bed block issues. Officials say the beds will be deployed within the next 12 months. So not exactly speedy, and exact timeframes and locations have not yet been publicly detailed. All that said, this still fails to address any of the core staffing issues. Who's going to attend to those new patients in an already stressed system? So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a bandage on a bullet wound, basically, sort of situation.
Yeah.
Still good news, but...
Yeah. Good news, but we want more for our hospitals, doctors and nurses.
Yep. Wellington's new mayor, Andrew Little, says Super City Council all but inevitable. I think this is good news anyway. This could be controversial news to some people. In my opinion, this is probably good news. Little says he supports merging Wellington City, Aotearoa, Lower Hutt and Upper Hutt into a single regional council, citing shared workforce and regional identity. In the 2025 local election, non-binding polls in Lower Hutt and Aotearoa backed exploring amalgamation. He expressed concerns about the government's proposed rate caps for councils, arguing that it would make councils less accountable to local voters, which I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like this is pretty positive thing. I remember when I was living in Wellington, just how close these things, like they seem like the same city when you live there.
Well, that's the thing, is I actually think it's less about whether they seem like the same city and more that we often behave like the same city. Like, I know that like a lot of people get really mad at Wellington City Council over the public transport, but that is managed by the Greater Wellington Regional Council.
Yep.
And so like that's another place where we can have things like I mean I do unfortunately think it does sound like it's going to be inevitable. I don't know if there's any like parts of it that I am necessarily against. So far I'm kind of more for the four, because I mean, again, like you say, I think as long as there's a way for each area to be able to prioritize their own needs as well. I don't know. I guess I just don't know from a logistics standpoint how something like that kind of would look.
Little also flagged first priorities review of the 139 million Golden Mile upgrade. Cars banned from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m, widened footpaths, cycle lane, etc. Given revised cost estimates are aging, which is maybe a little less good news that they're revising that.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately, that was kind of the first thing I hoped. I hoped it wouldn't, but I'm also not surprised. He's also put Ray Chung in a pretty important role as well, so I don't really like Andrew Little at the moment. Anyway, we can go on to, I think it's my ones next.
You got a little bit of good news there too.
Yeah, I got a little bit of good news for us. So this is actually I did find a news article about it, because this was actually a YouTube recommendation that turned into a New Zealand good news story.
Okay.
So I got recommended through the YouTube algorithms this cool new cartoon that was partially funded by New Zealand On Air, and it turns out it's actually a Wellington artist who was awarded $500,000 from New Zealand On Air to create a new zombie web series. And I thought we could just have a quick look at the trailer.
Sure, why not?
Something fun and different.
Sounds good.
New Zealand. If you're just tuning in, New Zealand is being attacked by the vicious Windsor virus.
Oliver, get up. We're in massive trouble, mate. Look.
This is the massive trouble?
The virus is reported to turn its victims into brain-dead, bloodthirsty, bloody monsters.
Dad, there's blood here.
That's just from the townies. Filthy mongrels.
I'm bored.
You're getting on my last nerves.
I've lost everything I've ever loved.
Bloke, why aren't you picking up my call?
Oh my god.
Stay in your bloody homes, mate.
Stay in your bloody homes, mate. But yeah, so this is a new cartoon, and the main characters are actually based off of the Wellington artist's own family. So dad bloke is his dad, and that's him, I believe. And apparently his mum is really liking it, but she really wants her character to be added into the show. And he said he doesn't quite understand. He says, I don't quite know if she understands that it's not about our family. It's just kind of modeled off of our family.
That would be my mum. My mum would be saying exactly that. She's like, are you going to make me a character?
Yeah, like, right?
That's all she'd be focused on.
Yeah, sure, mum.
Like, yeah, mum, I'll make you a character. All right. I'll make her the queen or something, and then she'd be happy.
I also just highly recommend it. It's definitely gives like, I think it almost gives me like, not Rick and Morty, it's the other one. I've just lost it, and that's going to annoy me, actually. The Regular Show. There we go. The Regular Show. It looks
just like a Regular Show.
That's exactly it. It's like Regular Show meets Adult Swim meets the most Kiwi shit. And yeah, it's a great watch.
Anyway, we have got about 35 minutes, and we're not even barely over halfway through this, so let's just power through a couple of these. I'm just going to say a couple updates on some of these stories. So there was an update on the robbery for the Louvre. There have now been 4 people charged. The most recent 2, aged 37-38. The man is charged with organized theft and criminal conspiracy. The woman is complicit in those crimes. Both deny involvement and are in pre-trial detention. The stolen jewels have not been recovered, and the investigation remains ongoing. So it sounds like they're catching the people at least.
That's good.
There was a temple stampede at India's Andhra Pradesh temple, I guess, that killed at least 9. It was a crowd rush that just surged, basically a stampede of people that just killed 9 people. Not great, and it seems to be a bit of a common thing coming out of India is crowd-related deaths. They really need to try and fix their crowd management skills, I think.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Moving on, at least 23 were killed in a supermarket explosion in Mexico's Sonora state. Authorities say the blast may have been triggered by a faulty electric transformer, not a deliberate attack. So it's just a freak accident by the sounds of it. Please do not fear shopping, people. It won't kill you. Record rain hits central Vietnam last week, causing widespread flooding, destroying roads and infrastructure, and cut power to many communities. Thousands were forced to evacuate. At least 13 people have died, with several others missing or evacuated. Heavy rainfall is described as unprecedented for the season in central Vietnam, a place known for its rain, raising concerns about climate change, links, and future preparedness. Not a great week for Vietnam.
No.
More in the climate change state of things as well. Hurricane Melissa has left at least 50 people dead across the Caribbean, including Jamaica and Haiti. Haiti definitely does not need fucking shit right now. And the death toll is expected to rise. Jamaica was hit the hardest. Vast infrastructure damage, major power outages, and thousands of homes were destroyed. All right. Let's move on from the morbid news into still not great news. President Milei's party, as we're calling him now, Mutton Chop Milei, scored a decisive victory in the 26th of October midterm elections, gaining stronger position in Congress. Markets responded strongly. Apparently, the peso actually rose after he got voted in. Whether this is due to his influence or despite of it, it is clearly a win for the Trump administration, as the disease of Trumpism is spreading internationally. Yay!
Ooh.
However, here's a good one. In the Netherlands, they also had an election on the 29th after the collapse of the previous coalition led by the far-right Party for Freedom. Yay! The centralist Liberal Party, also known as Democrats 66 or D66, surged in support, on track to win 26 seats. It's a shame it wasn't 66. Up from 9 in 2023, so that's a big jump right there. No party appears to have won a majority, meaning multiple parties must band together. And yeah, the other far-right party lost, so yay. Finally, at least after a term. Yeah, we got one, and after a term, they're like, you know what, fuck these guys, they're shit, let's get rid of them.
Yeah.
Apparently, no party wants to work with them. All the other parties have ruled out working with them, so...
Damn.
That's what happens when you keep making everyone political enemies, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. Moving on to Myanmar. Myanmar rebels withdraw from 2 towns under the new China brokered truce. No one seems to be praising China for this, especially not Donald Trump, because apparently he makes all the peace deals. This one won't last.
Right.
Stop by China. Fake peace. The Ta'ang, or I think that's how you say it, National Liberation Army, said it has now reached an agreement with the military-run government of Myanmar, brokered by China following the intense fighting on the country's north. So they're pulling out of 2 towns, essentially. The agreement includes a halt to advancing operations, both the TNLA and government troops, and the government has agreed to stop airstrikes. Hopefully that includes its bombing of peaceful Buddhist festivals, as we covered a few weeks back. So, yeah. Not much more to say there, but... Oh, yeah, actually, no, there is some more video. Oh. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm a liar.
How dare?
Yep. A police operation in Rio de Janeiro has resulted in more than 130 deaths, the deadliest policing in Rio's history. Authorities say the operation involving military police and elite tactical units targeted drug trafficking factions linked to Commando... Red Command, apparently it translates to one of the Brazil's largest criminal networks. Residents described the scene as a slaughter, bodies lined up, heavy use of force, and calls for investigation of both of police methods. Homes were riddled with bullets, bodies were found in alleys and courtyards, and witnesses reported police firing indiscriminately into residential areas. So, yeah, I don't know. The far-right ally of Bolsonaro and governor of Rio State, someone named Castro, called the operation. Yeah, no. Called the operation a success and a historic day in the fight against crime in Rio de Janeiro, which I kind of agree with him halfly. I think it's going to be a historic day that many people will remember, but not as a fight against crime. You've basically sent the state out and murdered, just slaughtered a bunch of people in an apartment building. Like,
yeah,
it's not great. Not a good look for your administration.
No.
Yeah, those poor fucking people. Don't know what else to say there, but fuck that and fuck that guy and fuck the police in Rio and yeah, fuck them all. Fuck them all. All right. Mali court has sentenced ex-PM Mara to 2 years in prison for a social media post expressing solidarity with jailed critics of the military junta. He has to pay 500,000 francs. Apparently they use francs still, which is approximately $887 US. So it's not that much, I guess, at the end of the day. But he had visited jailed opposition figures and posted, "As long as the night lasts, the sun will obviously appear after the visit." The post was deemed undermining state authority and inciting public disorder somehow. So, you know, they arrested him. And, yeah, that's more or less it. But more on Mali, there's apparently a fuel crisis, which has spiraled amid armed group blocking supplies to the capital. The JNIM-led army group has imposed a blockade of fuel imports to Mali's capital, Bamako, by targeting tanker routes and burning trucks. Fuel prices in Bamako have reportedly increased by about 5,000%, and it has resulted in station closures and long queues, as you can see here. I mean, it's barely even a queue. I don't know what you'd call that. More of just a crowd. I was going to say, yeah, that almost looks like someone's performing. Yeah. This just looks like the crowd around someone performing. The government has responded by suspending schools. Oh, sorry. The capital is effectively under an economic siege. Some fuel stations are shut, blackouts are increasing, and transportation costs are soaring. The government has responded by suspending schools and university for 2 weeks because staff and students cannot reliably commute or access transportation fuel. Yeah, it's pretty much it. And the JNIM, or Jama'at Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin, is Al-Qaeda's branch in Sahel. They've been fighting the Malian forces and foreign troops since 2017. Yeah, while the JNIM did not cause the junta's rise, their insurgency justified it and now legitimizes the junta's continued rule under pretext of fighting terrorism. I think that's our favorite justification nowadays for any kind of thing we don't like. It's just terrorism.
Yeah. Terrorism bad.
Yeah, that's the new theme for the 21st century. It's the new you're a communist, essentially.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you're just a terrorist. So... deadly protests spread across Tanzania over elections. On the 31st of October 2025, protests erupt across multiple cities in Tanzania following disputed elections. Demonstrations turned deadly with reports of security forces using live ammunition and at least 5 people killed and dozens injured in mass arrests. A government-imposed dusk to dawn curfew and suspension of mobile internet services were announced as authorities attempted to control the unrest. So these guys kind of learned from, I think, the Nepal uprising where everyone was communicating online, so they just shut down basically internet access.
Wow.
Yeah. Opposition leaders alleged that the elections were rigged, citing irregularities and in polling stations and a lack of transparency in voting counting. Yeah, so not looking great for Tanzania, but this continues our theme of just people fucking violently protesting corrupt governments around the world, especially in Africa and South America, it seems, is quite common. All right. Trump places Nigeria on a watch list over claims of anti-Christian violence. Trump announced that Nigeria will be designated a country of particular concern under International Religious Freedom Act of 1998, citing claims that thousands of Christians are being killed and Christians face an existential threat in Nigeria. The move signals potential U.S. sanctions or aid restrictions through designation itself. Though the designation itself doesn't automatically impose penalties. Nigeria's government rejected the claims, saying the characterization of religious intolerance is misleading and emphasized its commitment to protecting the rights of all faiths. Experts warn the situation in Nigeria is more complex, involving ethnic, resource-based, and sectarian violence, and not simply an anti-Christian persecution. So, it's been sort of suggested there's a lot of just historic rivalries between a lot of these smaller villages and stuff that's fueling it as well, not necessarily just religious stuff, but, there's some truth on both sides. Apparently 82% of the 5,000 Christians killed for faith-related reasons globally in 2023 occurred in Nigeria alone. So that's a pretty, you're getting over 80% of the Christians killed for faith reasons in your country. There's a little bit of something going on there, but who knows? Maybe those reports are bogus. But that's what I got from. There was a report from Europe, so not exactly their home country. So, look, but that's what I got for it. So
yeah, I just got distracted by reading this malnutrition crisis where it worsens in northern Nigeria amid global funding cuts. I'm like, I feel like, and they give a shit about like maybe I don't know, help those people who are malnourished.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on. Trump met Japan's new Prime Minister, Takaichi, to secure a rare earth supply in Japan.
Okay.
Yep, so that seems to be his favorite thing that he's doing right now. I mean, I won't even bother really going into the details too much about it, but, it seems to be a trend that he's going around making deals with countries who are rich in critical minerals to secure US access. So far, that includes Australia, Japan, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, and Cambodia, with interests also expressed in Ukraine and New Zealand. So, as much as I understand this is a strategic decision, it also comes across like the Legion of Doom trying to like collect all the Earth's valuable resources, So he does looked fucking so orange. He looks more orange by the day. I swear to God, it's probably because he's more pale by the day too. So.
No, I realized that was from I think the last picture.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I get it though. It's weird when he doesn't look orange at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this was just bad lighting. Plus, he's got red curtains behind him. His face almost matches those curtains.
Yeah, actually, it's real funny when I was trying to use Photo Room to get rid of this was a picture, I think, of Luxon and Trump. It kept thinking Trump's skin was, because it was the same color as the wood in the background, it kept trying to delete his face anytime you delete the background because it just matched the same color. It was fucking insane.
Racist. All right. Moving on. Anyway, that's it. He's made a fucking minerals deal. We need to speed up through these.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Whilst after he was in Japan, I think he went to South Korea. Whilst he was there,
Yes.
North Korea just decided to test a new nuclear sea-to-surface cruise missile while he was there.
Okay, but that's hilarious on North Korea's behalf. Not gonna lie.
I know. It is a bit of a fuck you. I kind
Low-key based.
I dig it in a way. It is a little. Of course. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff confirmed that they're looking into it, as well as US allied forces. They're analyzing the performance of the missile, whatever the fuck that means.
Oh, yes.
Yep, I don't know. Yep, it did well. 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Trump downplayed the launch when asked about aboard Air Force One, saying he's been launching missiles for decades, right? He's been launching them. It's just he always launches them, which I also kind of agree. This is just a posturing moment. So he is right there to sort of dismiss it. You know, this is, hey, America's here. We're gonna just sort of give him the middle finger. I think he can see it for what it is, I suppose, but.
Well, less of a middle finger and more of like when a toddler's trying to puff their chest out at an adult. Like, I'm big boy. I'm big boy.
But
why would we have so much Trump news?
I don't, because he's been everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Yep. Yeah, he's, you know, I don't know, he's everywhere. It's the Trump decade.
The man about town.
So Trump hints that US could resume nuclear weapons testing. Yeah, he said the United States could very well go back to conducting nuclear tests. A reversal from the moratorium the US has held since 1992. He framed the move as necessary given global competition and rising threats. Although I don't really see how testing helps with that.
What?
I don't know.
What are
like, build more nukes. You don't need to test them. Like, I don't know where testing comes into this.
This will be why Shane Jones wants us to get back into fucking nuclear. I
Probably.
fucking bet you right now.
Yeah, but...
Bet you those two have had heaps of fucking Zoom calls.
So this is not something that's been formally announced. It's something that Trump's just kind of spitballed, and, you know, obviously people are jumping on, like, are they going to do it? Who knows? But... Look, just sort of watch the space.
Enough of the things he's just said have come to fruition.
That's so why I sort of noted it.
Remember, hey guys, remember when we thought him saying he would build a wall was the funniest and the worst thing he'd ever done?
But he also didn't kind of do it. He tried to do it. I guess that's...
he built like a fence. He built a fence.
Well, I think that's the more important thing. He'll try to do it, so... He will try to do it. This is also, like, where the hell is he going to test them? Like, this is, I think, the kind of situation where everyone's a fucking NIMBY. Like, I don't want nuclear tests near me. Fuck off. Do it in your backyard, mate. Not here. Anyway,
all right.
This moving on to a story that you had. A federal judge who ordered Trump administration to pay SNAP benefits for Oregon and other states.
Yep.
Do you want to just briefly go over this one?
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly just a follow-up from, I think might have been last week when we talked about the fact that SNAP was basically going to end November 1st, but thankfully, in Oregon, a federal judge ruled that the US Department of Agriculture must restore food stamp benefits, which is awesome. And the only slight issue that I've kind of seen talks about is, like, they are going to, you know, release that back, but the question of when is kind of the main problem at this current point, because basically they have SNAP cards, which are much like our payment cards that we get through Wins, and so that usually would get topped up the first of the month every month. So they've obviously missed their top up so far, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the stuff is expedited fast enough so that
and I
they
believe
can...
the government's still in shutdown, so it'll make shit slower too.
Well, that's another part of the problem, is that obviously... Well, that's actually... So the whole problem is that the government being in shutdown is why this has happened.
Yeah.
The main issue was actually just the fact that they wouldn't allow access to the funds that gets put aside for it, and that was the part that was the real issue, was them basically like, you're not allowed to use this fund, even though they are allowed to. That's the whole point of it being there. So fingers
I did
crossed.
have some reactions, but we'll skip over those. Do you want to watch those?
I opened them, but I don't know.
We can watch
if
a
you want.
couple. No, we can watch them. Fuck
All right,
it.
yeah.
Other stuff's expendable. Yeah, let's watch these.
Right. Oops. Helps if I share this one. Yeah. And the sound.
So these are real people losing their
I just
essentially
got
source of food.
confirmation that food stamps is officially cut for next month. About 2 months ago, I stopped eating dinner almost every night of the week so that my boyfriend and I could have enough food left over to have lunch the next day. This was before we were about to lose our food stamps. Mind you, we both work.
I don't think that we really realize the depths that this is, the damage that this is going to do, but the women, the mothers, and the families, but the mothers especially, who are going to go without meals so their children don't have to. I know that I will absolutely be one of those mothers.
But because we have children and because aftercare and before care is too expensive, I've taken a job that's basically minimum wage so that I can be there to pick up my kids. I cannot fathom what we're gonna do without that food stamp money, because if I already couldn't eat dinner with that food stamp money,
Stop it there.
Yeah, we've seen enough, because unfortunately
people are having a horrible time finding out that they're essentially not going to have a source of food for them and their family next week or next month.
Many of them were already struggling with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's apparently it's Democrats' fault.
Just a little meme that someone did on top of this, why this is like the most... So I'm not sure you could get more Marie Antoinette than taking away food stamps before Thanksgiving whilst you build a gold and marble dance hall so the other crooks can bribe you all over a badly cooked Argentinian steak.
Yeah, that's the other part actually that someone pointed out to me too, is it's the timing as well. Like, we're coming into, they have Thanksgiving this month, obviously Christmas next month.
Yep.
So, and also we have to remember that they're on the opposite season to us, so they're going to be going into their colder months, and it's going to get cold in December, and a lot of these people probably could barely afford heating with the SNAP benefits, let alone even consider trying to heat their home without them. So it's horrible, and hopefully we'll see some swift action taken, because it's a pretty horrible position for these people to be in.
Yep. All right, moving on. United Nations has called for the U.S. embargo of Cuba to end again. This is for the 33rd consecutive year. They passed a resolution calling for the end to U.S. economic and commercial financial embargo in Cuba. It was 165 countries voted in favor, 7 against, 12 abstained. The countries voting against included U.S., Israel, Ukraine, Argentina, and Hungary. Pretty much all mostly with pieces of shit running them, so yay, no wonder. Cuba's foreign minister called the embargo a policy of collective punishment that violates human rights. The resolution is of course non-binding because it's a US Congress decision that changes the embargo. So this is just sort of saying, hey, look, pretty much most people disagree with the US, but kind of pointless because they're probably not going to listen. But I love talking about Cuba too. Cuba's so interesting. It's like, you know, especially when people say like how much communism fails, like this is the one you point to. This is against all odds. They're fucking embargoed and shit. Like they can't even get new cars, which is why like all their cars like old like 60s cars and shit as you see there. So they can't even get like new cars in the country. They just got to like refit and keep these old things going. So against all odds, they're still making their economic system work. It's really impressive, honestly.
Base Cuba moment?
Yeah, I know, kinda, yeah. You know, anyway, that's why I like talking about Cuba and lots of other things. I had a little thing there showing the happiness, like how, you know, they're only 104th on the happiness index, but like with the places where it mattered, they were actually pretty high, which was like health and education, which are the green ones down there. They're quite high on, which is the thing that actually lowers their their happiness index is like freedom to do business and stuff and shit like that, which I don't know why that's included really that much on a happiness index, but I guess it matters somewhat. But obviously in a state where capitalism isn't much of a focus, ease of business is probably not going to be the easiest. So they're not the lowest considering they've been non-stop embargoed for over 30 years, which is also impressive. Anyway. Israel launched airstrikes in Gaza and then announced a return to the ceasefire. I think you're muted. You muted yourself.
Sorry, what? You just don't get to do that? Fuck you.
Yep. So Israel said it struck more than 30 targets in the enclave. According to Gaza health officials, at least 18 members of one family died in central Gaza. The justification given, the remains of captives returned by Hamas did not match what Israel expected under a truce deal. The body belonged to an Israeli soldier, and Israel claimed Hamas violated the ceasefire. So
of course, they always fucking do.
Of course they're gonna say that, so they could violate the ceasefire like they've just done. Anyway, and they just said, "Yep, we're returning back to a ceasefire." So, as of today, Israeli forces have killed another Palestinian in Gaza as well. So today, I just saw this just before the show came on, bringing the toll. So the toll since the truth has gone up to 236, as Hamas has handed over remains of another 3 captives today as well. So they seem to be continuing to do their part. That's all I'm saying.
What a surprise!
Yeah.
What a fucking surprise!
I wonder why we sent someone to Israel.
Exactly, the people who would literally like Hamas has just been vilified for the fact that they're the ones who was where the straw broke the camel's back.
Yep.
And it's just so stupid. All right.
Oh, this one's just fucking like there's no peace deal. Pakistan and Afghanistan. If peace deal fell apart, what more can I say?
No peace in the Middle East?
No peace in the Middle East. And this it's probably not going to become a war, but you know, it will just be continued skirmishes and people will die and there'll be terrorist attack. That's most likely what's probably going to happen here. I mean, we don't really have time to cover it much more in depth. So that's pretty much it. Russian forces bombed a children's hospital in the city of Kherson.
Kherson.
I don't know. Kherson, causing significant damage and wounded at least 9 people, including 4 children. Approximately 100 people were inside the hospital at the time of the attack. Moscow has not commented on the strike. Instead, the Russian Defense Ministry said on Telegram that its air defense units destroyed a total of 100 Ukraine drones overnight in attacks that continued for a third consecutive night. Ukraine also over Telegram, for some reason everyone's talking on Telegram, I don't know why, confirmed it had responded with attacks on Russian energy infrastructure. Putin on Wednesday said Moscow had successfully tested a nuclear-capable and nuclear-powered underwater drone. This follows I don't know, they're flexing nuclear drones now. This follows another successful test of an advanced nuclear-capable weapon a few days prior, the Burevishnik cruise missile, which he claims has unlimited range. Maybe he's bluffing. I don't know. What is unlimited range? Fuck knows. I'm assuming that just means the entire planet. But who knows? Maybe he literally means unlimited range. So, yeah, I mean, good job. UN, I guess. What's the point of international law anymore? Just none of this shit
problem
works.
is international law isn't as legally fucking binding as I feel like I was led to believe as a child.
No, it's really not. We've fooled ourselves. Anyway, let's go.
It's more like suggestions.
Let's go to our last and best story of the day, which made me chuckle. Crews continue to hunt for 3 aggressive research monkeys who escaped a truck crash on Mississippi Highway. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. I believe it was Cyber Goblin, so if anyone has more stuff they would like to bring to our attention in the future, that would be much appreciated. We love covering stuff, especially like this, which I just thought was amusing.
Right?
A truck transporting rhesus macaques overturned on Interstate 59 near Heidelberg, Mississippi. The monkeys were reportedly from a research facility associated with the university, though the university later clarified it did not own the animals and the primates had not been exposed to infectious agents as authorities initially claimed. The animals were aggressive and carried diseases such as hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID-19.
Jesus, what a combo.
Yeah, I know. Fucking aggressive herpes monkeys running around.
Right.
That'd be fucking crazy.
Name of your sex tape.
Obviously. All but 3 monkeys have been captured or killed. And the search continues for the remaining animals. There is ongoing scrutiny about who owned the monkeys and why they were being transported at all, their destination, or how many were originally on board. So no one even knows where the fuck these monkeys came from. So...
Okay,
what knows what's going on? But...
Just mystery monkeys?
Yeah, mystery monkeys. Mystery, definitely not hepatitis C research monkeys.
Yeah. God.
All right.
I love that story.
We either did too much casual discussion today, or I just jam-packed way too much. I'd lean towards the latter with me, personally, but I don't know if we wanted to go to a couple of palate cleansers just in the last little few minutes.
I reckon.
We can fit a couple in.
What is this one? Oh yeah, this one's just dumb, but oh, actually, I thought we'd have a quick look at this because I think I was looking up. I can't even remember what the fuck I was looking for.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this one.
I stumbled across it. How do I make this big? Why is it not letting me? Hold up, my YouTube just decided to be weird for a second. Okay, no, it's just doing that. Weird. Hold on. Hold 1 second, call.
We don't have 1 second.
Fine, I'll put this on while I do it. Here you go.
Yay.
Fine, I'll keep you preoccupied while I look. This was just a... But that was just stupid and dumb. But for some reason, it's making the player small, but hopefully it'll be fine. As long as we can see it, hopefully it'll be good enough. But I just saw this. Press what?
Press F.
F. Oh, yo. Shot. There we go.
I remember that music.
Right?
It's all over, bar the music.
And now, the Tuesday documentary, The Game of Our Lives.
Look at this.
A tea in a teddy bear cup.
Isn't it great to see so much of New Zealand on air?
I'm very, very impressed by these slippers.
I fell in love with them. I just had to get them, you know.
And I was just like, man, what a throwback.
I love recognizing some of those faces. Quick Escape.
Hell yeah. And then I don't know what this is, but I believe you put this one in.
Oh, this one? Okay. I mean, this wasn't my...
that you had highlighted.
I want, yeah, do this one. This one's the best one so far. This is my favorite.
Oh.
These are the best costumes of 2025.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right, we need sound.
So what are you supposed to be? I'm a Spice Girl.
Hey-o! Sorry, that was just too good.
Dr. Pepper. Mr. Bennett, what are you supposed to be? A treasure chest.
Aww.
Dalton, what are you supposed to be?
Oh, I'm a pothead. What are you dressed as, Mr. Jenkins?
A jaywalker.
What
are you, Mr. Levins?
Is it not clocking to you? I'm standing on business.
And what are you supposed to be, Mr. Andrews?
I'm a waste of time.
Hey.
Good seeing you two.
Oh, my.
Oh.
Don't tell my wife.
What are you supposed to be, Mr. Henson?
I'm an old timer.
Hey.
Mr. Lambert?
French toast. Bonjour.
What?
I don't know. I get the last one.
French toast. Bonjour. Holy shit, that's funny. No, that's good.
And I think let's do this one last as well. The police with no pants.
Police with no pants?
Yeah, so there was a police...
After the police story we did tonight, I feel like... I mean, we'll play it, but I don't like it after the stories we've talked about with police. Alright, let's share. Let's see if it makes it big. Yep.
Good morning to you. Can you put your appearance on the record, please?
Yes, Officer Jackson, badge number 3919, out of the 12th precinct.
All right.
You gotta ask the camera judge.
You got some pants on, Kaos? Officer?
Okay, I'm sorry, but that cuz, and then quick into like that was some beautiful code switching.
It's coming from the judge too.
I know, like the fuck, cuz.
No, sir.
Jackson,
credibility gone.
Oh, that's great. I need to replay that last bit.
Officer?
Oh.
Sir, they're in the... No, sir.
Officer Jackson, okay, Miss Lee.
Fucking hell. Bro, he does know that only works if your camera's already set up to be this height, right?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Anyway, pretty much everything else is, timeless, so we can probably leave a lot of this stuff to address next week. Hopefully I have less shit. I'll make sure
Honestly,
I have less shit.
I would like it. I would like a week with less news.
I'll make less news. I'll make less news next week.
Nah, there'll still be just as much news. Maybe just not in our eyeballs, but hey.
But thank you very much for joining us tonight, guys. I'm sorry we had to fast forward over that stuff at the end. We just got too much into discussion at the start of the show, which was,
How dare we have thoughts and opinions to share with each other?
We did have quite a bit of good, healthy discussion, and it's a good thing that we always put New Zealand news first now. So that got the time it more or less deserved. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us tonight, guys. Go head over to BHN. We will see you there, and we will, I guess, play our outro.
Yep, which I just already got
found.
Sorted.
Okay, see you guys. Ka kite. Thank you very much for joining.
Ka kite.
One too many times before. I remember times on dance floor. I remember times when you go. Now I'm happy alone. She stole my heart. I can't believe I fell for her tricks. I can't believe I passed on my life. I can't believe the times were like oh so good. No one to tell me how, no one to hurt me now. I thought we said our vows, I miss your disallow. Said my feelings, you got the best of me. Motive was lust, you played me basically. She told me that I'm quite a masochist, oh I know. I can't believe it still hurts to kiss, so I won't. How could you ever say you wanted this? I should don't. How could you ever say you'd rather be alone? Be honest, I'm so glad that I'm on my own. Glad I'm honest. Finally gave time to myself. Now I'm breaking out of my shell.
Baby, no matter.
I can't believe